POD, or Pod, as I call them.
Mhm.
I don't.
No.
XFM 104.9, it's the Ricky Gervais Show.
With Steve Merchant?
Yeah. So Dermot O'Diddley,
Yes.
weeks and weeks in a row, he doesn't even turn up, and now suddenly he's all over breakfast.
I noticed, yeah, he's standing in for the breakfast show. Why weren't we asked to do that?
Well, we
Quite
were.
upsetting. Were we?
Yeah.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, but I don't want to get up that early, do I?
Sure.
I feel a bit hungover today, actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's happening? What, were you partying last night, were you?
Well, not partying, we just went out for a couple of drinks, and had a meal, and then went to the Borderline, and saw about, I'll tell you about that, it's good.
You saw a band? That's the first
Yeah.
time in years, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Like you?
Yeah, because, no, do you know John Sim, the actor?
Not really.
He's in this band, right, called Magic Alex, and it was really good. They're sort of like a friendly Oasis. They got, you know, sort of
Yeah,
quite,
yeah.
you know, it's quite mank sort of feel, but it's really good songs and everything.
Is he the singer?
Yeah, no, he's the guitarist. Nice, cool. But it was full of actors because and I felt quite tall.
That's ludicrous, because you're a very short man.
Well, I am. I'm sort of, I was average, but now I'm not, I don't think. 5'8", that's right. But there, I was like it was like Lilliput. So I just got to hang out at actors do. Yeah.
This is the reason, because actors are often quite handsome people, but yet they're always quite obnoxious.
We are.
No, I mean, they're normally quite obnoxious, Rick. Again, you know, you're a good example of that. And yet, I think it must be the small man complex. That's what makes them so obnoxious and so kind of desperate for attention. Didn't realise it before.
Steady on.
Because, of course, I tower above everyone.
You do, don't you?
I'm, for people who don't know, who are listening, I'm 6'7" tall. That's high.
Yeah.
That's big.
And for people who've never seen him, he doesn't hold it well. It's not like he's a sort of handsome athlete, is it, Karl? He's a bit of a, what do you call him?
Carl, don't answer.
No.
Don't get drawn into that. You know the game he's playing.
No. Do you know yesterday when you were in the office?
Yeah.
You did a little move, and it reminded me of Blakey.
I hate you, Gervais. I hate you, Pilkington.
That's a stance.
Yeah, but even he held it a little bit better, didn't he? Because he was a man, you know, he had a big coat and everything, and a peak cap. But, yeah.
I can't believe you. Like, I've not suffered enough from being freakishly tall. Now, till my best buddies, live on radio, are just...
It's not just the height, though, is it? It's the posture and the face and everything.
But it's got you places, hasn't it?
No? What do you mean it's got me places?
I think people give you a bit more of a chance in your career and stuff. It's like...
Well, yeah, stacking shelves. Because I can reach the high
Muse, Plug-in Baby, on XFM 104.9.
Rick,
Gervais, go on.
Well, yeah, but I know you guys are laughing about the height thing, and for those that have only just tuned in, I am 6'7" tall, which is tall and that's big, and I pride myself on it in a way. You know, I've worked hard, I've not smoked, I ate well, you know.
Yeah.
It's an accomplishment, but obviously I didn't have much involvement in it. I just am, and it's a curse because mainly the problem is that you can't get stuff, you can't get clothes, you can't get shoes. You know?
Yeah. It's size 14 feet.
Yeah, but it is genuine, and I don't know. I mean, it costs a lot to buy a pair of size 14 shoes, and I mean, if you were genuinely poor, I don't know how you'd afford to be tall, because the clothing costs more, everything costs more.
I've seen this in comics, that you'd actually go to school in a barrel.
Wearing a barrel.
With just braces, it'd just be a barrel like that, and you'd have sort of flip-flops. And you'd, take a mule with you. They all had a mule, didn't they, the poor people?
People always think, like you'll be in a pub or something, and people just think they can talk to you about it. They just think, hey, you lanky, it's just like, because it's like they
But that really annoys you, doesn't it?
Well, it annoys me because it's like they think I should be proud of it. Like,
well, exactly, but they don't think that this is not a disadvantage, this is not a disability, is it? You're taller than most people. It might get
disability.
No, if you were 8'3", it'd be slightly disabilitating, you would, but...
Disabilitating?
What?
Disabilitating? Yeah. No, you're a medical man, aren't you? But, no, the point is, it's a disabilitating because when you go on public transport, like if you're on a coach...
yeah.
The only place I can sit on a coach is that seat...
On the driver's lap?
Either on the driver's lap or that seat at the very end.
Yeah.
You know, which sits into the aisle.
Yeah.
That's the only place I can
Well,
sit.
you
and there's some sort of kids at the back waving at drivers.
You could drive it from the back.
Here he comes, watch it.
Were you a tall baby? Or...
Mrs. Merchant, you've given birth to a basketball player. Look at his dribble already. Were you a tall baby? Babies aren't tall.
Oh, at what point did you suddenly, like, Jesus, nothing fits me?
Well, it didn't happen overnight, Karl.
Let's do a little graph. How tall were you at 5?
Oh, I don't know. 3 foot?
3 foot. How tall were you at 12?
6 foot.
6. What are you really?
I don't know, do I? How do I remember? I don't remember this.
Well, when did teachers start calling you freak boy and
Rarely,
lanky?
They didn't. It wasn't
Didn't they?
so much. It was no.
You went to a funny school. I went bowling with him once, right? I'd never been bowling before, and he'd been once before, and he went, let's go to this bowl. Went to a bowling alley, right? And, you have to wear these special shoes. Now, they're sort of like pointed things anyway, and they're, multicoloured, sort of red and green. They look pretty weird. And the woman said to me, oh, what size? I said, oh, 8. She went, yeah. So what size are you? He went, 14. She went, 14. He went, you probably haven't got them. She goes, yeah, I think we have got one pair. And she put them on the table, and it was like Krusty the Clown. And I just started laughing. They looked so long, and he had to run round this bowling alley in these freaky clown
But
shoes.
they don't look freaky clown like when I'm wearing them, because the rest of me's in proportion to it.
It looked like a little wall bracket.
One of the worst things that happened to me was when I was like, I don't know, when I was about 16 or something, we went to, it's a fire
There's
alarm.
a fire alarm going off.
There's a fire alarm going
And the
off.
fire light's going off. Yeah. Should we not just maybe
we
play a
investigate?
record and go and check that out?
Wrap it up if you want.
Oh, no, not wrap it up. Play a record, I'm gonna go.
No, the
See you
fire,
later.
it's gone off, Rick, it's gone off.
Oh! What, we might have burnt down!
Yeah, I think we'd know about it. The flames licking around our ankles would be a clue.
God.
I'm gonna go and investigate. You shouldn't ignore a fire alarm, should ya?
Blimey! We're entertaining the nation.
Oh, look at him, he's scared of fire! What do you mean? Mercury Rev. The dark is rising. That's a good song, isn't it?
I noticed that you're, investigating the fire mainly involved wandering out into the office, looking around a bit, then coming back.
Yeah.
What did you find out?
There was no fire.
There was no fire?
No.
Right.
But I like that. Imagine that though. Imagine like, there's a fire and there's loads of firemen. They go get back, and you go to the firemen. All get back. Oh, look at him.
I would. I'd actually
Yeah.
be justified to.
Okay, there's heavy shelling, lads. Retreat. Oh, Sarge. I'm sorry. Sarge.
Yeah. Just
There was a fire alarm. I'd never seen it before. A fire thing going off. There was a fire alarm going. I thought, oh, let's at least have a look if there's a fire. That's all I thought. See, there's some official coming in now to tell us we should have been running out.
There's no fire. Well, you can't just stop entertaining, you know, the people of London just because there's a fire.
This isn't the Titanic.
Oh, true.
I don't have to carry on playing.
I don't know, it feels like a bit of a sinking ship, really.
Right. Nice one. Nice one.
I don't know who I was slagging off then. Probably me.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Listen, let me just tell you briefly, this is another example of how people can just exploit you and make fun of you when you're tall.
Yeah.
I was quite tall. I've always been like about 6'7" for quite a while now. And when I was about 16, I went to a big New Year's celebration in Bristol, where I come from. And everyone kind of congregates in this big sort of part of town, and there's sort of people dancing around, like in Trafalgar Square. And I was there, and somehow I just picked up a balloon somewhere along the line, one of those kind of helium sort of balloons, and I was holding that, sort of dancing around. And these two girls came up to me, and I was thinking, yeah, okay, you know, it's New Year's Eve, brilliant, you know, that's my kind of party.
Yeah.
And they came out, and they went, hey.
Once a year.
And they went, they said, you gonna be here for long? And I went, well, maybe. And they said, it's just that we've arranged to meet back at you in about an hour. I went, what do you mean? I went, well, it's just because we can see you wherever you are. Don't worry, you can move around and stuff, we'll see you with the balloon. Just arranged to meet some friends.
I
here.
love that. A landmark.
So, like,
pilots use that. Oh, we're just coming in. There's, when we go, when we see Steve Merchant, we'll be descending to Bristol Temple Mead.
What's really funny is New Year's Eve, Trafalgar Square, you got a huge column, but they use Steve as like the meeting point.
Steve's got a huge column.
Brilliant, Rick, well done. Award-winning comedy from Ricky Gervais.
Happy Monday. Took you back, didn't it? Happy Mondays there, Manxine there. Carl's like really getting down. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on.
Got
Come
any
on.
Veras?
Oh, come on, Mel. Did it take you back, did it?
Yeah.
How old are you?
29.
29. So you were just going into, out of your teens?
I'm a Virgo.
No.
What?
No. No, you don't understand. It's just, I'm
Rick,
a Virgo.
I thought we discussed about involving Karl.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Management have told us we're just not allowed to do it.
We've had emails from people.
Please don't speak to Karl.
It's cruel.
Exactly.
On the cusp.
Can I just make an appeal? I don't want to...
On the cusp, Libra Virgo, he said. Still going through with it. Doesn't know what's going on, does he? Just wave bright objects at him.
Yeah.
We've got a competition this, Steve.
We have, but before we mention that,
Go on.
can I just ask something? I don't want to exploit our position on the radio.
No.
But I wonder, because I'm very tall, and it's very tricky for me to get size 14 shoes and big clothes and stuff, could I just get people to send some stuff if like, maybe they own a shop which...
Yeah, but
sells
it'd be things like homemade clogs
That's
that people
cool.
have carved out of chunks of wood they found
That's
in the
whatever.
shed.
Whatever.
It's not going to be great.
When I was in America, everyone says to me, you go to
It
America...
was cool. I made out of my own skin.
When I was in America, everyone told me like it would be really easy to get big clothes and big shoes and that because they're all huge and all freaks over there.
All right, steady on.
And I was wandering around New York and I was going in a few shops, kind of saying, we've got size 14, US 15 shoes, and they were going, no, we want something.
Is that the difference? One.
And they literally were laughing at me. There was a couple of shops where they literally laugh and get like someone else in and come and look at the tall, freaky Englishman.
Really?
And then one guy said, I remember we had someone come in here once, and he said he'd been to a shop which sold kind of stuff for really tall people, and he said, I think I can remember the address, and he sort of looked through the sort of telephone directory, and he made a note of it. And I went on the subway, and I went down all
Lilliput.
And I went, it took me ages to get there, and really hard to find it. I finally went in there. I've never seen it. It was heaving, right, with freaks. It was amazing. It was like, they were just kind of gargoyles. It was like something from Lord of the Rings. They were just kind of these tall people and kind of gnarled.
Did they turn around and start bowing to you?
It was incredible.
Yeah.
When I went in, I just said, hi, I'm looking for a kind of sort of the guy went, yeah, sure, and he sort of hobbled off into the darkness and came back with exactly the kind of pair of shoes I wanted. I couldn't believe my luck.
It might be a magic shop.
But it was like that shop in, Mr. Ben.
It might have been a dream though, you see. Have you still actually got the shoes?
No.
Because when Mr. Ben sort of like goes back and wakes up next day, he finds like a feather in his pocket where he remembers he was a 17th century sort of squire or something. You know what I mean?
The classic episode of Mr. Ben when he becomes a 17th century squire.
Oh dear.
Mr. Ben learns to play the harpsichord.
It's like when Mr. Ben, that black shopkeeper goes, right, are you going to pay for that? You're not just going to go through that door and then have an adventure and come back. Oh, yeah, I am. No, you're not. You're barred.
Yeah.
You just make me sick. We wait nothing from you. Well, I'm not in this for your amusement, Mr. Ben.
Is it only Ben who's got the insider knowledge about the magical doorway, or
I don't know, because that fella in the fez doesn't seem to have anyone else there.
No, rarely. He's always grinning though. He knows something.
I'm not sure. It's not a documentary though, is it? It's a kid's show, isn't it?
I'm trying to remember.
No, it's not. It's just a kid's show, so anything can happen.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people make that mistake when they slag off something like Scooby-Doo or Thundercats. It's not really reality. It's just a kid's.
Mr. Ben, they were all on drugs, weren't they? Like Magic Roundabout.
My mate fancied Cheetera from Thundercats.
Cheetera. Which one was Cheetera? I quite like She-Woman.
She's a lovely cat.
Yeah, she was a real dish.
What's the sexiest cartoon?
I'm glad you've asked.
A lot of people say Jessica Rabbit.
They do, and they'd be right to say that, because she's actually human, she's not an animal, which is good.
What?
Isn't she? No, she's a normal woman married to a rabbit.
No, she's not.
Jessica Rabbit.
Is that why she got a surname, Rabbit? But she's not actually
she's
a rabbit.
married Roger Rabbit. But she's not actually a rabbit, she's a glamorous woman.
Is she?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
No, yeah, this is the weird thing about it.
That's weird though, isn't it?
It is weird, the idea of a rabbit having sex with a beautiful woman. That is the weirdest thing about it.
How does that make you feel?
Annoyed, if I'm honest. Yeah. But I bought some bunny ears just after I saw the film.
Oh, hip-hop. You got your hip-hop track?
Yeah, good. No. This album was rated by a lot of people last year. My sources tell me that it's being re-released and re-recorded this year. Anyway, Nerd are the outfit. They're better known as the Neptunes, who are kind of sort of hip-hop R&B producers.
Yeah.
I think this track may have featured on a giveaway CD.
It did.
The NME.
It did.
Anyway, it's Dynamite. It's from the album In Search Of by Nerd, and it's Bobby James. Play it. Nerd from the album In Search Of, and that's Bobby James.
Brilliant.
It's great.
It's really big. It reminds me a little bit of Warren G. That chorus.
Sure. Yeah. And apparently the album, it was on kind of limited release, so it's quite tricky to get hold of, but as I say, I think they're re-releasing it.
Well, you should tape off the radio, because we're doing lots of features.
Yeah, no, I'll maybe play that again in the future, just tape it off. I'll tell you what, I'll play the whole album over the course of the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and we're just we're going to have us talking, we just go now, and
we can't actually say, we can't advocate you tape it off the radio, because that's breaking.
No, or maybe I'll just do some bootlegs of the catalog and just sell them Camden Market for £4.
Exactly, fine.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we won't, we shouldn't really say that, but...
Warren G is, Dr. Dre's cousin, is he, or something?
Warren G, I think, is his cousin, yeah.
But I know he's got a famous brother as well, and I think it's something like Nate Dogg.
It could well be Nate Dogg.
Maybe someone would know that and could email or phone in.
Yeah, or email maybe kind of.
This is the best thing about being on the radio. I can think of something. There was a competition on Virgin, right? I was listening Virgin. I think 105. No, what is it? I can't remember.
Yeah. Good station.
Good station. And they had a competition, right? And it was to win a trip to America on the Enterprise. It was all about space. And there was one question, answer 3 right, and it was who was the first one into space, Yuri Gagarin, who was doing that. And then the third question was, how much bigger than the moon is the sun? Is it twice as big or 4 times as big? And this one went 4 times as big, went correct. It's not. It's hundreds of times bigger. I can't believe, can someone look that up on the internet and how many times bigger is the sun than the moon? It's not 4 times. It's huge. It's like beach ball to a pea type dimensions.
Which DJ was it, do you remember, on Virgin?
I Can't remember, but it was the one on sort of about 11 o'clock.
I
Wouldn't want to be in there.
now.
Yeah, he's embarrassed himself,
He's
isn't
embarrassed
he?
himself.
When we do
Everyone's-
quizzes, we never get anything wrong.
That's true enough.
During that track, I'm chilling out, I'm loving it, aren't I? Carl goes, do you know how baguettes came about?
Do you know how baguettes come about?
I went, go on, and Steve went, no, save it.
Wait a minute though, I'm thinking, Rick, people are going to be desperate to know the answer to that. Why don't we play some ads and some music and stuff?
It's like a cliffhanger.
Exactly. How did baguettes come about?
Whatever he says is going to be good, isn't
Stay
it?
tuned to XFM to find out.
Hives, hate to say I told you so, I love that sort of stuff. That and the Strokes. Well, it's so much better than this new metal rubbish, isn't it?
Definitely.
Now, most people think we talk rubbish on air.
Yep.
If they could hear the conversations
Off
that
air.
go on, I know, but, someone just emailed in saying the sun is indeed about 400 times bigger than the moon. Thanks for that. That DJ must have looked it up and said, 400 times, that can't be right. It's probably a printing error. 4 times. Nothing can be 400 times bigger than the moon. Karl went, yeah, but the sun, it's only got 1 million years, isn't it? I went, what? He went, on that space program, it said that in 1 million years, the sun will be destroyed. And he said, and then we're all shafted. Right? I laughed. Steve went, no, it's okay. By then, we'll be on another planet.
No, I think that's true. We'll have colonised other
Right?
planets.
Carl went, yeah, but there'd be no sun. Steve went, well, there's other suns, which is true. Carl went, well, I went, well, yeah, every star is a sun. Carl went, well, not really. Not really. Don't believe that, do you? And I went, no, it is. The sun is just a star. It's not even a particularly big star. Carl went, well, why didn't they say that instead of worrying me? Instead of worrying me.
In 1 million years' time.
Yeah.
I love that Carl, he's been preserved, brought back to life, and is now the ruler of the world.
Just a head in a fish tank. And he speaks like this. I am Pilkington.
The reason you became king of the universe, of course, is because of your fascinating French bread anecdote.
Oh, yeah! Yeah,
What
come
was
on
the
then.
story?
How did baguettes come about? If this is gonna be someone cooked a loaf a bit wrong and said, I can still make a sandwich out of it, I'm gonna hit you.
No.
Go on then.
Right. Napoleon, when he was at war and that with, Russia,
1812, yeah.
yeah, all his soldiers were like, you know, not used to the cold weather and that. So they said, take some clothes in your bag with you, because it's gonna be
Chilly.
nippy out there. So, they put all the clothes in the bag.
Sure.
Do what they were told.
Oh.
It's Napoleon, for Christ's sake.
No room for any food.
No,
You're joking.
So,
Couldn't they make some sort of like sandwich?
no, it wouldn't fit because of all the clothes. You had to take extra gear.
Sure.
for them. So, anyway, he said,
I can see where
know.
this is going. I'll be honest.
Is there a baguette-shaped gap left in their holdall?
They thought, let's make some bread that you can fit down your trouser leg.
What?
That's not true! No, it's not,
I
Carl!
read it in Euston train station. I was waiting to go back to Manchester.
Where did you read
What,
this?
scrawled on the wall in graffiti?
Yeah.
Do you know the
Was it also meet me here for cock fun at 12 o'clock?
The upper cross sandwich shop, Euston station. It's on the wall.
What do you mean it's on the wall?
Do you know how it says, like, sail on at Dixon's, whatever?
Yeah.
Next to that, there was, like, a bit of information. Once you've read the stuff on Dixon's,
Baguette information.
there was a big thing about the history of the baguette. I read it and I thought,
No, we gotta make a sandwich we can spit down our trouser leg.
But how can you march and fight with a huge piece of bread down your train?
Although it would be intimidating, you see them coming, you go, sacre bleu, look at the size of them. They're big fellas. Well,
Blimey. I can't help but feel that could be a practical joke at your expense.
yeah.
didn't do that.
Well, the Earl of
Do you ever
Sandwich...
question anything you read? If it's
No.
printed up, is that,
Yeah.
like, fact for you then?
Well, it's not funny. I mean, if they were trying to be funny, it's like, it's not, is it? So it's information.
Have you heard us? Things sometimes want to be funny when they're not.
That's exactly what happened with the sandwich. The Earl of Sandwich wanted something he could fit down his pants. And it was those triangle cut sandwiches wrapped in cling film were perfect. You might be right. You might be right.
I am.
Because the Cornish pasty is so they could drop it down the mines, isn't it?
Is it?
They wrapped it up they wrapped up like meat and vegetables in pastry, and they sort of crimped it, and it was like and they dropped it down the mine, so. Yeah, that's how that came about.
And bagels were originally made so that people could play hoopla, but then eat afterwards. I don't know if you're aware of that. That is true, Carl.
Well, anyway.
Call my bluff. Is one of them true?
Yeah.
They're all true.
They're all true.
Yeah.
Tell your kids that when you have them.
Yeah.
You know, if they're still alive in 1 million years.
Well, it might be true. Can someone confirm, that baguette fact, that it was so Napoleon could stick it down
Not him.
his trousers? Not him, his soldiers.
His men.
Yeah.
Fascinating information. Fascinating bread information, Carl.
Radiohead.
Yeah, now this is my song for the lovers. It's a beautiful track. It's Let Down, off OK Computer. It's one of my favourite Radiohead tracks. It's lovely. Right, set the tape going now, if you want to tape, these songs. Avalanches, Frontier, Psychiatrist.
Absolutely.
Well, we've had lots of emails. People, obviously, we inflamed, and provoked
Well,
about
actually, I have to say,
the
Rick-
Cornish pasty. I've got a couple of amendments to that. The crusty bit, you know, is actually as a handle, because obviously the miners had dirty hands, and they'd eat all the stuff in the pasty, and they'd be left with this sort of crust, and they could throw that away. Also, someone told us that at one end was like apple, so you have a little sweet as well.
No dessert.
So there you go.
You noticed how, like, over the years we've been doing this, you know, way back when we started XFM, no one ever contributes when we ask about the music, when we ask about hip-hop, or their, you know, opinions on that, anything important. But start talking about pasties.
Yeah.
We've had about 5 phone calls.
Yeah. And someone phoned up to confirm. They used to work for Upper Crust, and basically Carl got all excited. So it is true. She went, well, I don't know if it's true. I've read the same sign you did, Carl.
Interestingly, there's an email here that says, which basically offers a history of the baguette, and talks about after the revolution, the government decreed that all of France must eat the same bread, and it was up to the bakers to bake this bread of equality. And then Napoleon kind of made sure it was a particular, he kind of set in.
Obviously on the bread you can eat anything you find in the garden, frogs, snails, bits of horse,
But
squid.
the interesting thing is, Rick, that there's no mention of sticking it down your trousers whilst going to war.
The French have tried to keep that secret for over 100 years,
It was only
Steve.
the upper crust people.
Nearly 200 years, that is a top secret. Somehow Euston Station Upper Crust got hold of a document, left behind in an old sea chest, possibly Napoleon's, could have been Josephine's. Unfortunately, jotted it down. He's kicking himself now. Oh, Secretary, I cannot believe I left a note. If he talked like that.
He did.
He did that, yeah, he talked English, but in a very funny French accent.
Do you remember, there was one thing that, talking about funny French accents, you remember Allo Allo?
Yeah.
Remember, it was on about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but they still meant, because it was a funny Frenchman, it was that English guy who was posing as a French police officer.
It's very complicated
He
plot.
would often walk by, and I remember there was one where he said, I was pissing by the door when I heard a shit.
Oh yeah.
Now that's
passing by the door.
I'm allowed to say
Passing
that.
by the door when I heard a shot.
That's what he's saying. I'm allowed to say that at 2 o'clock because I'm just saying I'm talking in a French accent.
Yeah.
I was pissing by the door when I heard a shit.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Because I'm speaking French, Carl.
Do you know what I mean?
That's the rule.
Do you know why people tink the glasses before they have a drink?
Why they tink? The verb to tink.
I do know that, Carl. Is it about poison?
It is.
Here we are.
What, would it make a different noise?
Oh.
Brilliant. Go on, explain
Why?
it.
You explain it, Steve.
No, don't Steve, you explain it, Carl. Go on,
Oh,
I've started so I'll finish. Come on, Carl, explain why they tink the glasses.
Ages ago,
Yeah.
only people with money had drinking or something.
That's like one of my film reviews. Years ago. Welcome to History Now. Now, ages ago, only people with money had drinking or something.
Keep going, Carl.
Keep going.
Like spirit and stuff, so they'd, it's like businessmen with money.
It's easy for you to say. This is getting to be cruel, isn't it?
This is amazing.
Yeah, go on.
Why
Go
did
on.
you open your mouth, Carl? What were you hoping was the best that could happen?
Because you were trying to make me look stupid before with the planet, so
Whereas you know...
Yeah, go on, no, come on. Businessmen with money, I've got to drink, I'm ching. Okay, so then, with all the drinks...
So they'd nip round to have a chat about whatever they're earning money with. And they'd say, right, do you want a drink then? And they'd go, oh yeah, that'd be alright. So, rather than like, just pouring it out of a bottle into a glass and saying, there you go, it could be going, hang on a minute, it could be poisoning me ear and trying to like, nick my business idea.
Yeah.
So what they'd do, it sort of pour a bit of his drink into the other person's glass and you get that tink noise. And that's like, cheers, you know.
No, Carl, I just have a slight amendment there. I think what it was you're absolutely right that they would then test each other's drinks to show that it wasn't poison. But over the years, that was reduced to just chinking the glasses by way of saying, let's not actually bother going through the whole rigmarole. They just did the chinking of the glasses.
Yeah,
as a
well,
kind of symbolic way of saying it.
yeah, that's good.
Whew. It was exhausting though, wasn't it?
I know.
Was it worth it, do you think?
Well, I like that, because people carry that with them now. When they do that, they'll think, oh, that bloke's definitely not trying to poison me.
Yeah.
So the horrible thing is that now, when I do the glasses, I can laugh and go, they don't know I've poisoned them.
Exactly.
You should always do the pouring back and forth. It's a shortcut, it's a slippery slope, you know, just be careful. Ash, there's a star. One of my bands of 2001, Ash.
Was it?
Yeah, they've come through. I didn't like them at first, thought, you know, a bit too lo-fi, but I think they've worked at it, they do good songs, they're good performers, and I think they're probably thoroughly nice chaps.
Sure.
Alright? We didn't say hello because we were away for a couple of weeks. We didn't come back and go, oh, we're back, did we? It's like nothing ever happened.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Did you have a good Christmas?
Yeah, you?
Yeah. Carl?
Yeah, it's alright.
Lovely. Okay, let's crack on.
Good. I went on holiday after Christmas, yeah. And, so did, our mutual friend, Phil Belker.
Yeah, good man.
He was in Lanzarote and he told me one of the funny, I don't know if I can tell this on the radio. I'll have to say the C word, I'll just go, it's in a sentence, so I just go, you, see, when it comes, and you'll know that they're saying the terrible word. Just, you know, didn't want to ruin the anecdote. Anyway, they're walking along one evening in Lanzarote, and there's lots of Brits there, apparently, and Phil overhears, a sort of a married couple arguing. They're having to go home a bit early. And she's saying to him, she went, for Christ's sake, every time we come out drinking, you always shit yourself. Right?
Wow.
Always, not once. So he's going, I've told you, he said, it's not the drink, it's the weather. She went, the weather. You'll be blaming the food next, you see. I don't think they should have got married.
Wow.
Or when did you think the shitting themselves started? Must have been after the marriage, because if they, you know, you're courting, and they go, went out with, Derek again, did you last night? Yeah, how was it? The evening was lovely, the meal was nice, but he shot himself. Again. That's 5 dates, 5 different heaps of shit.
But I think I can change him.
I think I can change him, yeah. It must have happened after the marrying. Or he just might have think, oh god, or he's got to that age where I think, look, I'll just empty it when I get home.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna keep going up and going to the toilet, you know.
It's the ice that does it.
Yeah, Carl is right, I think. It is the ice.
What do you mean?
People forget, you know, they say, oh, don't drink the water when you're on holiday, and they don't, they drink, you know, they buy Evian and stuff.
Oh, I see.
They forget about the ice.
The ice cubes, you're right, in a bar. Made from tap water.
And that can do it, can it?
Yeah.
But she said every time you're drinking, didn't she?
I assume that she wasn't drinking ice then.
Yeah.
What, I mean, why is it just happened to him?
Let's be honest, everyone that goes on holiday doesn't end up crapping themselves.
Yeah, they usually make it to a toilet.
He does it every time he drinks, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, apparently.
Just don't let him carry the baguettes.
He's good, isn't he?
Oh, Carl comes out with
He
something.
does now and again,
High
doesn't
five,
he?
Carl, that was sweet, man.
Yeah,
Sweet.
nice one.
Yeah, respect you.
Right, we've got another feature now.
Yes, this is a feature which we introduced before Christmas, and it was so popular, we brought it into 2002 as well.
Yeah,
And it's
we've
called...
carried it over with us. It's an interesting thing, and I don't think we'll ever run out of features for
I
it.
don't think so.
Go on, then what's the feature called, Steve?
It's rather brilliantly called A Song That I Like.
Yeah.
And in it, let me explain.
Go on.
What I do is, in it, I play a song.
What, that you like, or?
That I like.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
so you just pick a few, let me go, I'm going to explain this. All the songs, right, there are, Carl, Steve likes some of them, he doesn't like others.
Exactly.
But, for this particular feature, the only songs that'll be in this section will be the ones that he likes.
If you think you're going to hear songs that I don't like, you're wrong. Let me clear that out straight away. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's songs that I like.
What song have you chosen to play?
Thank you very much for asking. I have chosen, and it's something I've only been introduced to recently, but I did enjoy it, and it seemed, just felt contemporary. It's, Patti Smith and the classic Gloria.
Oh, fantastic.
Play it, Carl. Gloria by Patti Smith. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I love it.
It's lovely to hear that again.
I've always been one of my favourite tracks.
And as Carl pointed out, sounds remarkably like, who did you mention?
PJ Harvey. Oh yeah, well, yeah, everyone knew that. She was obviously very influenced by her.
That's fine, that's fine.
That's alright, that's allowed.
That's cool.
I like PJ Harvey too.
Exactly.
There's enough room for 2.
You're absolutely right.
Oh, here we are then.
Let's just take a moment to think about what we've done, you know.
Yeah, well, it's been good. It's
we've enjoyed
it's
ourselves
an
so
hour and 20 minutes. We've talked about shitting yourself.
We talked about pasties.
We've done pasties.
A number of pastries, actually.
We never got the, we should go in a competition who's the tastiest cartoon ever.
Well, actually,
I threw
someone
up
did
She-Terror, I threw up, Jessica Rabbit.
I've had some people contribute here on
Go
the
on.
email. We've got someone here, Dom, has emailed us. He's told us that, for him, Daphne from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah,
Always
popular choice.
And obviously this is one I've never quite understood, Wilma from the Flintstones. I've actually always felt that Wilma, I don't know, I just thought she was a bit...
No, not
a bit
Wilma,
homely.
Betty, surely.
Yeah, Betty.
Well, this is what I mean, Wilma, I mean, yeah, Betty, surely, but Wilma? No, I mean,
it's
she's
just
quite
like-
homely. But Becky, yeah.
Come on, Steve, you wouldn't say no to Wilma.
No, I suppose not.
If it was like...
I'd be worried about Fred, if he found out.
Well, I'd hate to do it, you know.
I wouldn't want to do it to Fred, he's a good guy.
He is, isn't he? He's a bit of a chump. Whereas Barney, to be honest, I don't think he deserves Betty.
Do they both work in the quarry? Because, I mean, let's be honest, Fred, not a smart man. I mean, he obviously didn't come out of rock school with anything other than a couple of basic O-levels.
I know, but he's a hard-working, sound sort of
But
guy.
they got a big house, they got like a TV, they got that bird thing.
Yeah.
They
I mean, be honest, if I was Fred, I would be a little bit disappointed that my kid does nothing, whereas Barney's can lift up sort of tall buildings. Sure. Bam, bam. He's a very strong, you know.
I mean, interestingly, Fred loves his job. He's always yabba dabba doing at the end of the day.
He does
and he spent the whole
yabba-dabba.
day lifting rocks from one place to the
I'll
next.
tell you what, I wouldn't take that from that cat, though.
I would.
If a cat picked me up by the scruff of the neck and put me out, right, on the doorstep, I'd go mental, I'd get rid of it. It is a saber-toothed tiger, though, Carl, so it could rip him to shreds. It's not like a normal domestic cat you have nowadays.
You know when they go to the drive-in at the beginning?
Yeah.
And they order, maybe some ribs.
Yeah, that
The woman
huge-
brings that huge rib, and it tips the car over.
Yeah.
Was that her first day on the job? Because I've never been ordered before.
Yeah, either it's that, or
she'd have realised.
yeah, we're out of pig. We've got Brontosaurus rib.
Exactly.
And he goes, well, that knock the car over.
No, it won't.
I don't know.
Rick, can I tell you now? That was an accident waiting to happen.
It was really, wasn't it? Yeah.
And it did.
Oh dear. Mind you, I went to Texas once, and I had some ribs, and it was like the Flintstones. It was huge, and not only did it look too much like an animal that I couldn't actually eat it. I don't know who could eat it. I mean, seriously, it was 2 foot long.
Yeah.
And all the rib, it was like half a rib cage. And
It is incredible. My friends lived in Texas for a while, and they once were in a kind of diner, and there was, you know those kind of benches that are attached to the table itself, like a kind of picnic bench?
Yeah.
And, this huge fat guy came in, he came wobbling, he ordered like this kind of everything you can eat meal, and his fat kind of sort of, you know, kind of,
his big
wrapped
fatty
itself-
fatness fatted on the fat table,
It wrapped itself around the table and everything.
Oh,
He was
God.
chowing down, and when he tried to leave, the table came up with him.
Oh no!
Imagine that!
I mean, they are fat, aren't they?
They're big people.
They're huge people. But it was that thing we were talking about before, that bloke on Jerry Springer Show who was like 80 stone, right? Now, I felt quite sorry for him. He was really sad and he was crying. It is rad, but my point is this, right? When he got to say 50 stones,
Sure.
didn't he go, that's too much
That's enough.
for a land animal?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's big, isn't it? I mean, I'm getting worried. I'm 13 stone, and I'm genuinely getting worried. I'm thinking, oh,
Yeah,
God.
when you've got that big, when you've actually got your own mare,
yeah. When you
It's time.
when you have to get in helpers to look what the scale says.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 people lift up your belly and go, it's 52 stone. You go, that's too much.
Exactly.
That's too. I'm going to only have 9 breakfasts
when you actually,
today.
when you begin to appear on the Ordnance Survey map,
yeah, exactly, yeah. When
you've got your own symbol.
It's like, we can see 2 things from space now, Fatty and Steve Merchant. We'll be landing
All right,
at about...
well done.
Well, no, I'm just
Having
saying
a
at
go
all, you're
there.
not fat, are you? You're freakish and big.
Just another
Go on.
quick thought. Someone's mentioned Daphne from Scooby-Doo, and
Yeah.
but I've always had a soft spot for Velma.
Velma.
Because Velma
Oh,
was
no.
glasses. I mean, I'd have
She's
had my-
clever.
Can I tell you what would have happened if I was in that environment? I was maybe on the...
Your glasses would have got tangled
No,
up.
I'd have always had I'd always been making a play for Daphne, right? And Velma would have fancied me, but I'd
Yeah.
have always ignored it because I was playing for Daphne. And then when I finally realised it was never going to happen with Daphne, I'd have blown it with Velma.
Maybe
the
not,
story of my
though.
life.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Sometimes those, you know, they might, you know, appreciate honesty. Go, listen, I've been hitting on the good-looking one. Oi, Four Eyes.
Yeah.
Do you fancy it, Chubbs?
Exactly.
Something like that.
Just being honest is what you're saying.
Well, yeah.
I'm wondering, I don't mean to be libelous, but Velma, she was quite short, the glasses, the short hair.
Lesbian?
Hung around with the dog and
Lesbian?
the bloke. I'm beginning to wonder if she
Yeah.
was, maybe.
I was like, see, unfortunately, I said lesbian there, and you still carried on with your assessment of what it is to be a lesbian. It's bad enough doing the cliches of having short hair, but you said the dog.
Yeah, well she hangs around with a dog.
Do lesbians do that?
Well, have you seen some lesbians? They're right dogs. Good night. Have you seen what I've done there? You know what I've done there, Rick? Comedy award winning.
Professional. I was having a cup of tea. 100 Reasons there on XFM 104.9, just gone half 2.
Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, with Steve Merchant.
Hi.
Alright?
Rick, we've got a couple of emails in here, and they're saying they enjoyed your performance over the Christmas period on a programme called 100 Greatest TV Moments.
Yeah.
Did you do an interview or something? What was the deal? I didn't see this.
Yeah, the Office was in there, wasn't it? And I was
Right.
interviewed for it.
But what are they talking about? They enjoyed your performance. Come on, tell me
You
what
know, do you?
No, I don't.
It's the thing that I did on Razzmatazz.
Oh, is this where they found a clip or something?
Yeah. No, alright, I was in a band, and we had one single out or something, and I did one TV appearance when I was about, oh god, and they showed a bit of it, about 7 seconds, me on Razzmatazz. Oh god.
Razzmatazz, for those that don't remember, was like a kind of, I suppose, what was it, like a kind of CD UK of its time?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And, oh god. And it was of the time, sort of new romantic.
And they showed a clip of this?
I looked about 10 and about 5 stone with hair and makeup and girly clothes. My sister actually said I look like Posh Spice.
Brilliant.
There's a funny story about that, right? Because we were rushed and we had to do this thing, and oh god, and we were meant to take a flight to Newcastle. And
where were you travelling from? London?
Yeah, but we got there and we didn't have tickets, we were told to be there, but the A&R man overslept. Right, for the record company, overslept, and it was terrible, and we were fretting, and eventually, it was too late to get the plane, we missed the plane, we had to get a train, and it was really kind of fine, they were back and forth, they're going, yeah, if they come now, we can still do it, we're gonna miss it, and this was like a big promotional thing, and we got there, and they went, oh, god, right, and I had this sort of like jumpsuit I was wearing that I'd cut off, put that on backwards.
A jumpsuit?
Yeah,
brilliant.
I know,
Is this what was
bad.
on the clip?
Yeah, I had that on back to front, and there was no time, and I think I even mimed wrong at one point, and it was awful. But the funny story is this, that when we were there, we didn't have our tickets.
This was at the airport?
We bumped into Bucks Fizz. the guys and girls from Bucks Fizz and their manager, so there's like 5 of them, right? And there's 2 of us, and they had 5 tickets. And Bucks Fizz tried to smuggle us through. And so they went through the things, right, and they went, tickets please, and he just waved 5 tickets that he had, like that, goes, this is us, right, and they went, well, can I have a look at them? And they went, there's only 5 here, and they just looked at us and went, sorry lads, we tried. We were nearly smuggled through.
By Bobby. Karl.
They couldn't even with their powers, they were the height of their powers.
That was like make-believe time.
They'd already done making your mind up. I thought if anyone can get us through customs check, it was the Fizz. But even the Fizz
what I like
could not get
that
us
reassures me, I have to say, about kind of airplane travel. You know, in these kind of troubled times, it's
Yeah.
nice to know that even someone like Bucks Fizz
Yeah.
couldn't get, smuggle someone through.
That's good, because even, the top security man went, hold on, there's 5 in the Fizz, there's 5 tickets, those 2 lads are not going through.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes you more secure about air travel now.
Well, it's lovely if I'm in America, and I see 5-star,
Yeah.
trying to get through customs.
With 2 other lads.
Exactly. I think, wait a minute, what's going on there?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, security guy stopped him, it's fine.
It's fine, yeah.
There's only 5 in 5-star.
Oh.
It's lovely to know that.
Yeah.
I love the fact, and did you know the Fizz previously? Was this your first run-in with the Fizz?
No, they were doing the Taz, same as us, they were doing the old Raz, same as us.
Did you recognise the Fizz and go, oh my god, that's the Fizz, let's try and sneak in with them, or did they recognise you? How did it work?
They wouldn't have recognised us.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. I love the audacity of going up to Bucks Fizz and saying, try and smuggle us in. You try and break aviation law for us.
Now, yeah, now it's time to make your mind up. We're going to the land of make-believe. I did that and they laughed, they went, brilliant.
Yeah.
We'll get you through, lads.
Yeah.
Just stay tight. I was actually on top of Bobby's shoulders in a long coat.
Lovely.
Yeah, but Bill...
Well, seriously though, I don't understand what their plan was.
Like, they would have gone, through.
It's the Fizz, let them through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't bother checking the
It's like, not wasn't even answering, we couldn't even get to Newcastle.
Do you think it was wearing your jumpsuit backwards that sort of gave it away?
Well, no, but see, I didn't have it on then. I was just in civvies. I just had jeans and a t-shirt then. I didn't even have my hair gelled. I was just like cash.
I saw it. I thought it looked all right.
Did you?
Did you?
Well, I mean, for
Then you.
Tight jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Cheekbones.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I had some cheekbones. Yeah. That was the.
If anyone else saw it, or maybe they taped it and they've got a clip, because
now.
I'd love to see it. I missed it.
Well, I'll get you one.
If you have it, put it. I'll tell you what. Why not create a website? And put that clip on there on a constant loop, and then send the address in, and I'll give it out, and people can check it out for themselves.
Yeah, brilliant.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll have to lose weight now.
Yeah.
That film.
Oh, now we come to the feature. We're carrying this over 2002 because it was such a great success.
Everyone's talking about it.
Do you remember I stopped my film reviews because I'm only doing films I like, and I've done all the films I like. That's where other film reviewers fail.
Sure.
Because they review substandard films.
Exactly.
My average is still 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
And no one's beaten that. Not Barry Norman, not Jonathan Ross. No one's got an average of 9.5 out of 10 for the films they reviewed. So I'm keeping it there. I don't want to drop my standards. However, that film sounds good. This is where I pick a classic track from a film that I might not have seen, right? But I like the song, I might go and see the film. This is, Almost Famous.
The film was Almost Famous.
I haven't seen it, right? But a song, now don't panic, listen without prejudice, this is Elton John, but it's when he was good, okay? When he was a bright, funky, young, Brit glam star. Wonderful song, wonderful tune, wonderful lyrics. It's Tiny Dancer. Love Burns, Black Rebel Motorcycle Club there, Steve, what's about it?
That's it, isn't it?
We've had some laughs, haven't we?
We've learned as well, we've been educated as ever.
Yeah, past ears, all that.
We've got baguette information.
We've had features such as, that film sounds good.
Exactly.
Song,
song that I like.
Song for the lovers. Song for the ladies.
Song for the ladies coming up very shortly. Rick, I was lucky enough this week to go to a exclusive press preview of Britney Spears' forthcoming movie, Crisscross, or Crossroads. Crossroads, I think it's called.
Yeah.
It's not related to the popular TV show.
Right.
Rick, I'm assuming you'd love me to do a little review of it now. I can't, because it's embargoed until March. I can only talk about it in March.
No,
otherwise the press people will go crazy.
No, I wouldn't want you to.
Well, no, I imagine you want to know all about Crossroads.
Not really.
Because I cannot tell you anything.
Well, don't then, I mean, just...
Well, you can ask me questions, you can pump me for information, I cannot tell you anything about it until March.
I would pump you for no reason ever.
No, but Rick...
Certainly not for information.
Carl, doesn't matter what you ask me about Britney Spears' Crossroads, I cannot tell you anything about it.
Alright.
Okay?
Okay.
But seriously, if you want to know the plot or what I think of it, I cannot discuss it. Okay? And if the listeners want to email in questions, they can. I cannot reply until March. So hang on for that. I've seen the film already. I've already seen the film myself in advance of everyone else. I can't tell anyone about it.
Right.
Until March. That's the kind of exclusive.
I'll tell you what though, maybe I'll review it in March.
No, you can't.
Why?
Because you haven't seen it and I have.
Yeah.
But if you want to ask me a question now about it.
Well, that's you in March.
Yeah, but if you wanted to know now, you couldn't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Right. Song for the lovers.
Yeah.
Ladies,
anyway,
sorry.
Song for the ladies this week. I was lucky enough to get given as a Christmas gift the Rolling Stones complete singles collection.
Good present.
Well, it's an absolute joy. And I'd forgotten how brilliant Wild Horses
Oh, great
is
track.
from the Stones. So I thought I'd play that this week for the ladies. Let's leave them with that.
Jagger and Richards at their best.
Beautiful.
Watts is in on it. If I know Wattsy. I mean, Wyman was still there those days.
See you next time.
Bye. XFM 104.9, kicking off there with the Dandy Warhol Steve. Sure. Ricky Gervais Show. With me, Steve Merchant.
Well, then always let me say that.
Well, I thought you would...
What?
Well, it's 1:05, isn't it?
Already an error has occurred.
Yeah,
it's a shame, because it could have been slick.
But, Steve, we've got some great music.
We've got
I've been on a bit of a soul tip this week, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I was a bit of a folky last week, but, you know, you got stuff from, like, early Bowie, some Stevie Wonder, a little bit of Groove Armada. We've got the classics, we've got Coldplay, we've got Blur, we've got Ash.
Sure.
We haven't planned anything for the show.
Got nothing, have you? You're just reading the list
of songs that I might
thinking that
play.
will fill up some time.
Oh, no.
Anything interesting happened to you over the week? Nope.
No, I just swore off air, and Karl went, never swear in an on-air studio.
I love it when Karl tries to sound like he's professional and understands the business.
Yeah.
You don't fool us, Karl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I could buy like a Karl, you know, like those Garfields you can stick on a car window.
Oh, yeah.
I reckon we should be able to get a car like that we could send out as a gift to people.
That'd be lovely, wouldn't
Just
it?
this little face pressed up against the glass, like a window licker.
Yeah, like you'd have to lick his face to stick it there.
Yeah, that'd be a joy.
Oh, bless him. Or one of those things you throw out a window and it sort of like flaps down. You say they sell them for a quid.
Yeah, exactly. Or those little dancing
baby
cars.
pigeons. That's what we used to use. Or frogs from the pond.
Sure. Yeah.
That's cruelty to animals, and I don't condone that. And it was a joke before the RSPCA phone in and say stop throwing frogs at windows.
Well, people who are listening,
and I don't mean the French, by the way. That sounds like xenophobic. Before someone calls in and says stop throwing French people at windows. Yeah. So I'm digging myself into a hole here, aren't I?
Yeah.
It's all gone horribly
Quick,
wrong.
mention the Germans and then this guy.
yeah. I don't mind the Germans.
No, good.
Karl.
I wonder if people know what Karl looks like in the wide world. Is there any reason why they should have you ever featured on anything, or?
He's like Moby, he looks like Moby.
He does look like Moby, yeah. That's what it does.
Does that help?
Is that a compliment?
Sort of a Moby who's...
Mank.
Had a bit of a tough paper round when he was younger.
Yeah, that's right.
A bit more knackered than Moby.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. See, I think Moby's great. He's one of those people that every opens his mouth, I sort of, I'd love to be mates with him. He talks sense, he's interesting, he's lovely. I don't like his records. There's nothing I can do about that. If I ever become top mates with him, and after about a few years of us like driving around and having a party, I'll go, Moby, I've never liked anything you've ever done.
Is that what you do with your mates? Just drive round? What are you, 16?
Never. I've never done that.
Go to a car park and just do handbrake.
Never. I haven't done that since I was like 17, when like it was great to someone had a car.
You couldn't believe that you were just moving.
I remember once, right, my mate, Bob, had a car, and there was me and another friend in it, and we were young, we were about sort of 18, and he did a U-turn when he shouldn't, and this motorbike hit him and came off, and the music, it was just turning the music down. It was really, really bad, right? And he was there, and he was really worried, and the motorbike bloke was dazed, and he went, "You okay? I'm really sorry." And the bloke said, "Yeah." And I put my head out the window and went, "Sorry about that, mate. That's the third one today." And this motorbike just looked at him, and he went, "No, don't do that, Gervais. Why'd you do that? Why'd you say that? I just thought it would be funny." I didn't really understand the severity of this.
Have I told on the radio before about that time when I just passed my test and I was driving my parents' Volvo estate, and we went off driving down some country lanes? Have I mentioned
Is this the one with the...
Yeah. I've told you, have I?
Yeah.
Have I told you, Karl?
No, go on.
Well, then maybe I'll tell you a bit later on.
Let's play a record.
I'll tell you that.
There's a great anecdote about a Volvo estate coming up.
Exactly. That's the kind of stuff you're getting on XFM this Saturday afternoon.
Do you want some Coldplay or what?
Oh, I'd love to.
Coldplay. Don't panic. That's the title of the song as well as what I was saying. In fact, I was just saying the title of the song, if I'm being honest, making it sound like it was Conversation, XFM 104.9. It's a Ricky Gervais show with Steve Merchant.
Thanks.
You were going to tell us a little story about
just
a Volvo
past my
estate.
test.
Yeah.
My parents had a big Volvo estate, and it's quite a big car to drive.
My parents didn't have a car.
But I know you don't drive cars, Rick, but it's got a big car to drive if you've just passed your test.
It's safe though, isn't it?
It is very safe, that was the thing.
Yeah.
And, come from, the West Country, obviously, there's quite a lot of windy lanes around there.
You're joking, do you?
They have cars there.
Well, here he comes. Blimey, Karl.
Learned on a tractor, automatic it was.
Do you want me to tell it or not?
Oh! Don't give up the accent! Oh no, I'm not a Wurzel, go on. Go on.
So I went to this party.
You have a go at him being from the north.
Not when he's telling an anecdote.
He's never told an anecdote.
Oh yeah, fair point.
Yeah, go on.
So I went to a party, and I was quite excited because I had the car, I had the motor, and there was a chick heading down to the party that I was like, I had my eye on. And I thought, now I've got a car, and going to the party, it's going to be amazing, right? And various friends had said, like, can we get a lift? I thought, yeah, groovy.
Yeah,
I'll pick up the chick as well, who was a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
So cruising down to the party in the motor, the Volvo estate, and there's nothing sexier than that. Slipping a little bit of Billy Joel on the stereo or whatever, something classy.
Go changing.
Exactly. And maybe it was Billy Ocean.
Oh,
I was quite a Billy.
Maybe it was Get Out of My Dreams, Get Into My Car.
Ideally.
Yeah.
So I get to the party, and inevitably it was one of those house parties where the chick that I had my eye on, she kind of was chatting to other guys, and she wasn't really paying attention to me, and I was sort of...
Saying how to get, was she again?
Same old story.
Oh, they make me
They know
laugh.
how to tease, don't they, the
They make me
ladies?
laugh. Who are they kidding?
So I'd follow her like a dog, from room to room.
Yeah.
And watch
Quite
her while...
literally, sometimes he was barking.
Yeah.
Go on.
And while, just watch her while she talked to other blokes. And then, obviously because I was driving, I wasn't drinking, so I was not really enjoying myself. And then somebody said, should we go and pick up Vera? And I thought, right, okay. And they went, Steve's got a car, let's all leap in there, we'll go pick up Vera. And this girl was like up for it as well, so I thought, brilliant, I'll be back in the car with her, away from all these lads.
Yeah.
One guy she had her eye on, he came as well, I was a little bit annoyed.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was in the car, so I'm driving down these country lanes, just driving along, and they're directing me, they're saying, go left here, go right. And then suddenly, we stop, and, one of them goes, just drive into that field, this pitch black field, right? And I'm sort of, well, it is my parents' car. Just drive in the field, Steve. I'm thinking, well, I don't want to, not seem like I'm a hard, cool, crazy kind of guy, because the chick's in the car. So drove the car into the field, they all leapt out, started running off into the darkness, shouting, Vera, 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 where are you? So I'm just sort of sat there in the car, waiting.
Wasn't Vera Lynn, was it? Because she likes to hide in fields.
Bizarrely, it wasn't.
Right.
It was just, I was just left in the car on my own with Billy Ocean, and suddenly, out of the darkness, they come back holding a Vietnamese pot-bellied pig that they had stole from a nearby farm, and they knew that the pig was called Vera because someone knew the farmer or something. Anyway, so they got this pig. So now they're going, I'll put the pig in the back of the car. We'll take it back to the party. It'll be hilarious. I'm thinking, well, I'm not sure I want a pig and all its piggy crap in the car, right, crammed in there. But they say yes. So obviously, I'm thinking again, I don't want to look like I'm a nerd. You know, I'm terrified of that, Rick, ever happening.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So
you go, hey, bring the pig into the car.
Exactly.
I'm no nerd.
Exactly.
Yeah, go on.
So now we drive off again. I got this pig kind of screeching in the back of the car, and they say, stop again, let's do some cow tipping. And they do that old thing, you know, about the fact because cows sleep standing up, don't they? So you can push a cow over and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're having a wild time, hilarious. So this time, now we get to a sort of dead end in the road, and they say, well, turn around, let's go back to the party. And I'm thinking, fine. Try and do a 3-point turn in this very narrow country lane, right? Get the Volvo estate wedged horizontally across the road. Can't get it out, just can't seem to sort it out. I don't know what, I'm panicking because there's a pig in the car, right? And, local disgruntled farmers, right? People drunk, partying, probably off their head on some kind of weed, Rick.
Was it loads of blokes with, like, pitchforks and flaming torches
Exactly.
going, burn him. He's playing with our pig.
Exactly that. And so that, do you know, I was so terrified that all I could think was they're gonna have to send a helicopter to lower a magnet onto the top of the car to lift the car up and put it the right way round.
You used to read a lot of comics, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I started doing?
What?
Crying.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Why?
So started crying, just very slightly, started getting upset. And the other guy that the girl fancied, he had to get into the driving seat and sort it out for me by slowly edging forward
So
and
that's
backwards.
the worst bit of the whole story.
Yeah, edging slowly back and forwards. He just sorted it out, just slowly worked the car back round, and then we were off.
You're just gently weeping.
Just gently weeping in the back.
The bloke had just taken the bird that you saw from a distance.
Exactly.
That was basically your wife in your head by then.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it? I can't
We were
believe it.
happily married with a pig for a child.
Don't joke, that could happen.
I know.
The pigs come, if you like.
Sorry?
What?
What did you say? What did you say? What did you say?
When you do what, Karl?
What? What did you say? No, what did you say? Because I don't want to have to go to the radio authority again. What did you say then? Just remember.
We are going out live, Karl.
Yeah, remember Tom Binns, right? What did you say?
What I'm saying is, why were they shouting Vera? Because pigs don't come to the name, do they?
Hey? I don't know the ins and outs of pig, you know, how to lure a pig into your trap.
Can I just tell you some very, very interesting things about pigs?
Please do.
Right. One, everyone knows they have a corkscrew-shaped penis, right?
Yeah,
A corkscrew-shaped penis. That's
Yeah.
the tail, isn't it?
Two, they can't look up. They can't put their head back and look up, right? Three, they can have a 30-minute orgasm.
Rick, is it only pigs that have got a corkscrew-shaped penis?
No, and landlords.
Okay.
Very handy.
Right.
Here's one for you.
Go on.
Like insect facts and stuff.
Go on.
If a man was a flea...
You could jump over St Paul's Cathedral.
No.
What?
Wrong. It's gone up now. It's... the big wheel. The big wheel.
It's
The Millennium
gone up
Wheel.
now. It's gone up now. Play a record. You're the best. Ash, there's a star on XFM 104.9. Now, Steve.
Yes.
Karl text messaged me in the week, very excited, because he just watched a programme that proved me and you were stupid. Remember we sort of championed the anti-supernatural?
Yes. Sceptical view.
We're just absolutely sceptical about things like that. We're atheists, we don't believe in ghosts, anything like that, anything supernatural. We're followers of James Randi, a genius of our times, but Karl saw something that proved us wrong. I'd like Karl to tell you what this proof was, what he saw it on, and look at him. Go on then.
It was on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I was watching... you see, the problem is I didn't get the full story, so you could pick holes out of it.
Sure.
Unlike your usual investigations into the supernatural.
Which are
It was called, can I just say what the programme was called?
Mr. Exorcist.
Oh, brilliant.
So...
Sounds like an academic work to me.
The bit that I caught, I just flicked it over, sort of seeing what's on the telly, and I thought, oh, Exorcist, I've seen it, but there's nothing else, and I watched it, and then I realised it wasn't the same thing.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, I'll have a bit of this. And there was an old woman and a daughter, and as far as I was aware, the bit I picked up on, they were saying, oh, you know, it's dreadful, and unless you've been through it, you know, you've had ghosts in your house and that, you really don't know what it's like.
Yeah, sure.
And the main thing that seemed to be getting them down was the fact that the budgie was getting stressed.
The budgie was getting stressed?
Because animals can sense the other side,
Oh,
can't
okay.
they?
Can they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And how was that manifesting itself? You don't know. What was the budgie doing?
I think it just wasn't happy.
Right. Did it explain that to people, or
No,
how did it express that?
budgies are known for being chirpy, aren't they?
I said it
And
wasn't chirpy.
It normally swings on its little perch and that. And
Just depressed because it was possessed.
It was just sat around in its pajamas.
so
No, come on,
So-
Steve.
so-
Come on, Steve. You're making this a mockery. So the budgie was depressed because he could sense the ghost.
yeah, and then this
yeah,
guy, this Mr. Exorcist, came round.
Was that his name?
Yeah,
Okay.
Was he a priest or something?
yeah, he might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I picked up
Did he
on
have
him.
like a black coat with a little white collar? That's usually the.
He had his coat on, so you couldn't tell.
No, I'm sure. Okay.
But so he came round and he sort of did his thing,
Yeah.
and then
And was he
next
trying?
shot,
Was he trying to exorcise the budgie?
No, the
ghost.
house.
Right.
The
so
house,
it
yeah.
wasn't that the budgie had a
He was
demon or
clearing the
anything.
house
No.
out.
Okay.
No, this
So-
wasn't a possession, was it? This was a straightforward. It wasn't a poltergeist or anything. It was just a.
Well, a haunted house.
Yeah, but
Sure.
that's the thing he was saying. He was saying you can have like your ghouls and that aren't that bad, that aren't going to cause you any problems.
Yeah,
But obviously the budgie, they've got weak hearts and that, haven't they? And
Sure.
I don't
So
know.
he go on.
so anyway, basically he sorted it out, did whatever he did, and the next shot you see is like the budgie making a noise and swinging
It's
the
happy
lights
again.
over the moon again, and the old woman was like happy because she was
She couldn't
getting
believe it.
stressed.
Yeah.
And that's
The priest didn't come in and go, well, you should feed that bird. Give it a bit of millet. It was happy. He goes, right.
no,
See you
it's-
later. No. It was a. So
Because budgies are. My mum's got a budgie, and they're fairly happy all the time, aren't they? So it's got to be something very odd.
You never see a budgie sitting down going, I feel like topping myself, to be honest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Though?
No.
Do you know
no.
you can have like a moody dog? You can see a dog when it's unhappy if it's walking down the street.
You can have a moody canary, can't you? And what they do is they often tell the police what you've been doing. They're known for that. Yeah.
So basically,
So that for you is proof that the supernatural exists. A bird in a cage got a little bit annoyed, wasn't chirping as much as it normally did. Who knows why? There could have been a little draft up its, and
Cloaca.
exactly.
That's
Anyway,
a medical term.
Anyway, a man came in and did whatever he did.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend-
Mr. Exorcist, though, Steve.
Yeah.
This wasn't any bloke off the street. This was Mr. Exorcist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So.
for you, that's the proof that there's.
just because like if it was a person, you go, they're playing up for the camera.
Yeah, a budgie could possibly act like that, Steve.
Yeah, I see what you mean. You're saying a budgie would not be trying to. It wouldn't be trying to become famous. or
No,
just want to get
not
on the
like
telly.
not like Lassie.
No, sure.
It was
sure.
basically a show off.
Yeah, or
So-
Champion the Wonder Horse.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think
I've changed my tune, Rick. I don't know about you.
I have, and I think we should play a record.
I'd love to get Mr. Exorcist in. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Never dabble with things you don't understand,
Sorry.
like women. See what I did there?
Oh, he's turned that back on me.
Blur. Boys and girls.
Girls and boys, embarrassed to say.
Blur. Girls and boys there, Steve, on XFM 104.9. So, it's not so bad, really, because we didn't plan anything,
No.
We've proved the supernatural. We were wrong about that.
Well, just one other question. Was there anything else in this woman's house that led her to believe that there were ghosts, or was it just the fact that Tweety or whatever his name wasn't chirping?
You see, this is the problem. I was watching UK Style. I was watching something on that.
What were you watching on that?
It was, it's not changing rooms. It's like that, but cheaper.
Quite seriously, right? You might be the most interesting man in the world. I'm fascinated by it. I'd like to follow you. I'd like to have a hidden camera on you. I can ask you any question. I'd like to have you in a cupboard in my flat. So I just think about it. I wonder what Karl thinks of that. And I'd just throw something at you, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's what my dad did. Kept me in the cupboard.
Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
I wonder what Karl would
You
think
never
about
start
this.
for a conversation point if Carl's around. That's
No,
what's genius about it.
he's always got an opinion. He's got an opinion about everything.
Yeah.
It's
But I love the
fantastic.
fact he was watching UK Style without a shadow of irony.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No,
He's
that's,
just
that's,
like-
no, that's what I like about him.
Exactly, that's what's
I wouldn't
brilliant.
like it if he was trying to be
No, he's not.
kitsch
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I like it because he's down the line, straightforward, no nonsense.
Yeah.
This is what I like. You know what I mean? He's going to be sort of like Jeffrey Boycott, Dickie Bird when he's about like 60 or 70. He's going to get on a bus and go to the driver somewhere. You need an haircut. You look like a scruffy get. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
going to be a great old bloke that
Genius.
he doesn't get chinned in the pub.
Yeah.
Right, people protect him, because he's like 70 or something. But it's great. You're looking forward. You're actually in that nod. That nod when I can't wait to be 70.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Can I make a suggestion that we just get people, they can email in just questions or comments they'd like to hear from Karl. Maybe they just want to know his opinion on the Afghanistan situation.
Yeah, like,
or
you know, like
last night's Coronation Street, whatever.
Yeah, like they do it, you know, in the NME, or imagine that coming up to the election, they go, Billy says Labour. Oh,
Yeah.
Karl.
I think the Sun has White Van Man. Each
Oh,
day they interview a guy who drives a white van, see his opinions on various topics. Karl is very much our white man van. Man van.
Yeah.
So any query you have,
I think most of our listeners are,
any
to be honest.
opinion that you would like to hear voiced from the K-Man, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk, or you can phone in, I forget what the number is.
Doesn't matter, does it?
700 800 1234.
Sweet.
Now, it's time for our first regular feature of the day. That film sounds good.
That film sounds good.
I stopped the film reviews because I've done all the films that are 9 or 10 out of 10. I don't want to drop my standards.
Absolutely.
This is a feature where it's a soundtrack of a film where I like the single from it and might want to see the film, might have seen the film. Today is our first request.
Right, interesting.
This is for Martin, who wants to hear Live in the City by Stevie Wonder, and it's from Jungle Fever.
Let's hear it.
Well, I love the song and I love the
absolute
film. Living for the City.
Genius.
Stevie Wonder.
The man's a god.
Film Jungle Fever.
Absolutely.
It's a great film.
Yeah.
Well, not to be confused with Living in the City, which I think is a Desiree track. So
now
never
you
did
know,
that.
because you're a huge
But
Desiree fan.
we were grooving along to that. It's a great, not my favourite Stevie Wonder track. I actually, for He's Mr. Know-It-All, but a great track. Stevie Wonder's just fantastic anyway. And during that, we just had heads down, we just like, you know, just enjoying the moment. We said turn it up, didn't we? We liked it.
speaking of like weird stuff and that, I've got a new.
Well, we weren't, but go on.
No, got a new book. Do you know I had that Freaks book, the top 50 freaks? Got a new one sent to me.
Really?
Yeah, and do you know like everything normally has a name. So like if it's the two-headed fella, you know, they're all nicknames like that, aren't they?
They've got 2 nicknames, I imagine.
But this new book I've got, right, on the cover of this one, it's got like a woman with 3 breasts, right? And she's called the three-breasted woman, as you'd expect. The one face.
Why is she posing nude, though? That's what I want to know.
Tart.
Well, she looked happy. And there was a fella with like one face but 2 bodies.
Doing 1 face but 2 bodies.
1 face, 2 bodies.
What do you mean 1 face, 2 bodies?
Surely 1 head, 2 bodies.
Head as well, but it was mainly the face that was weird because he looked fed up. He sort of,
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Without a head?
How can you have? What do you mean? How did it join to the neck?
no, it did have a head, but the fact is, it was weird that it had 1 face to me.
What do you mean?
Well,
if you've
of
got
course
1
he had-
head, you'll have 1 face.
Yeah, I know, but it was the fact that he had 1 face and 2 bodies that I didn't think.
But
one
why do
head-
you keep saying 1 face and 2 bodies as
Why
opposed
not
to
1
1
head?
head and 2 bodies? We're all the man with 1 face.
Yeah, but now I've got 1 body.
Yeah, well, surely he's the man with 2 bodies then. Again, the description.
Roll up, see the man with 1 face.
I know, yeah.
So it's full of stuff like that, right? And what I'm saying is, that fella, you know, the 1-faced man, the 3-breasted woman.
He wouldn't be known as the 1-faced man, is what I'm saying.
Well, they all-
that isn't the peculiar thing about him.
Yeah, well, they all had names like that. But
Right.
there was one thing in it that didn't even have a nickname. It was so weird.
What do you mean?
It just said unidentified.
What does it look like?
Sort of testicles for eyes. That's. It just reminded me when you.
What do you mean testicles for eyes?
And what is it? Did he have a normal body?
I didn't even look at that.
Oh,
No,
so
that's what I'm saying though. You're attracted to the oddness of the thing, and that's what I was saying about Warren when he walks in.
Warwick.
You know, it'll be odd for a minute, and then I'm sure
For him it will be. Yeah.
He'll get used to you.
I've got my head round it a bit more, and the way that there's loads of people in the world, and yet you don't see people with like dangly eyes more often. It amazes me.
I love the fact that he's amazed by not seeing freaks.
Yeah.
It's incredible. He's walking down the street going, oh, everyone's got 1 head. That's weird.
Suzanne, see any dangly eyes today? No, me neither.
It's weird, isn't it? What's going on in the world? Oh, he's only gonna read it down.
That jingle there signifying, of course, once again, another reading from the Diary of Karl Pilkington. Now, of course, for those of you who have not been keeping abreast of Karl's medical complaints, just bring us up to speed, Karl. You had to go into hospital because previously you'd had
I've been in
treatment.
and out. Honestly, I've been in and out of that hospital just with kidney problems, really painful and what have you. And
He had kidney stones, alright.
No, but seriously.
I had a bit of a lie-in today because I have to get up early for my operation tomorrow. Not only have I got to have tubes shoved up my knob, but I also have to get up at 5:50. Suzanne said I could have what I want for my last dinner. It's not your last dinner, you're going for an operation.
Yeah, but you can't take things for granted these days.
Oh,
I had shepherd's pie and peas. Suzanne made it from scratch. As nice as it was annoying. Because making stuff from scratch means loads of pots, and it's my job to do the washing up. So much as the food was nice, there was loads of pans and that. People who get their last dinner on death row don't have to wash up. Got up at 5:55. You were supposed to be getting up at 5:50 on the other page. You were 5 minutes late getting up.
He's often late.
Often late. Got to the hospital and had to wait in the waiting room. There was another 9 people in there waiting to be sorted. I got called in. They sat me on a bed and took all my details down. 5 minutes later I'd been knocked out. I got woke up when they were ripping a pipe out of my throat. I felt more rough this time. The doctor came to see me and said he couldn't find a stone, so I must have passed it. I said, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yeah, we filled your kidney with water and expanded it and there was no hiding place." I sat in the recovery room for an hour while they found me a bed. One of the fellows who was sat in the room with me this morning got wheeled in. They couldn't wake him up. All the nurses were laughing because he didn't want to wake up. I bet they were laughing at me when I was in the theatre. Someone told me they totally strip you when they're operating. I would have looked like the alien on the Boswell incident.
Boswell!
quite a nice analogy if it weren't for the fact that you said Boswell.
It's
The Roswell incident. Didn't sleep much through the night because there was a 60-year-old fella shouting at the nurse about his pillows. I don't think I slept through a full hour with one thing or another going on. My bed was next to the toilet, so I kept hearing the flush.
How do they sleep in hospitals, though? They wake you up to give you fucking sleeping pills and things, don't they? How do you sleep in there?
I don't know what it is. There's no air. There was an old fella across from me who kept breaking wind. He didn't even try and cover it. He was just of that age where he didn't care. Just like, that's what I do. I'm in the hospital, leave me alone.
What do you mean?
Just, I don't know what was wrong with him. I talked to him because at first I felt sorry for him. I was a little bit like, you know, he's had no visitors. No one's calling him up, so I'll talk to him. But then he got that familiar with me that he'd just be doing it whilst I'm chatting to him. Just like he's my granddad or something. It's just like, oh, that's what he does. It's like, well, I'm ill as well. Stop doing that. Honestly, unbelievable. He didn't even try and cover it with a cough. It was just like, that's...
With a cough? How would you cover it with a cough?
just non-stop.
Got home and sat down. The pains are coming back, but the doctor said this would happen, that my insides are still in shock, so I need to take it easy. It's 9 o'clock. I'm in agony. I can't do the diary for the rest of the day.
Jesus.
So you may as well just tell us then what happened.
Suzanne just got frustrated with me because I was rolling about on the floor and she was trying to watch Arthur, right? So that was on the other night.
I thought it was when you lodge her.
So,
And she said, look, if you're in pain, do something. She said, you know...
you went and got a cold plate.
Yeah. No, use an ashtray. Plates are for liver damage.
Got in a taxi. He filled up on the way, which was annoying.
He didn't.
That
He
is
did.
cheeky.
That really... I mean, he could
On
see
the
us
way
in
to the
pain.
hospital.
So,
Because he's not an ambulance driver.
so anyway, he gets us there and he doesn't charge us, which is pretty decent.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So this gay fella came through.
How do you know he was gay?
Just the way he was. I'm not having a go. He was a good fella. Do you know what I mean?
A
He was-
doctor, you mean?
No, he was a nurse.
Right.
And he came through and just sort of went, "Oh, how are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I've had better days." So he got
As
me
you
on a-
mentioned in the diary, I remembered the first time when I came here, they said the nurse might put a tablet up my arse. I thought the chances of that happening had just increased.
Oh, Karl!
Yeah, but I would have let him do it. Honestly, I was that sort of out of it. That
Of course you'd let him do it. He's a qualified nurse.
No, but the way I am now, say if it was just a tablet for sorting out my blood pressure, and I walked in there and he went, "Oh, hello," and he said, "Yeah, let's pop that." I'd go, "Hang on a minute." but what I mean is that night I would have just let him put 3 up, honestly. It's just weird, isn't it? How your body just goes, let him get on with it, and you trust anyone, don't you? When you're in that much pain and you need.
And they're a qualified nurse, yes. Karl, of course, has written a poem about the experience entitled My Ward.
All I've done here, I've been through I don't know what the word is, a bad experience.
Trauma.
A trauma, yeah, I've been through a load of trauma. So I'm just finishing it off with a little sort of picture for people.
Go on then.
Me, a Chinese fella, and an old bloke who looked like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Don't know what was wrong with him, but breaking wind was the symptoms. No one visited him or called him. He seemed quite lost to me. As well as wind problems, he had a colostomy.
Back.
When I left, I said, "See you" to the old man. Turned out the other fella wasn't Chinese. He was from Japan. I never found out what was up with him. You've got a little picture there, haven't you, of me sat in my ward. I'm sat there with that fella who I didn't talk to, the old fella who had wind problems. And that's what a poem is, isn't it?
But the detail about you thought he was Chinese and he turned out to be Japanese, how is that evocative? That's just a piece of misinformation.
It's just
I like it.
I imagine a lot of people make
I
the
like
same
it because
mistake.
you know why? It's like he even makes digressions within his poem.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like he could have gone back and erased that, but he didn't. He left that digression in, and I think that's great.
To be honest, had a late night last night because I stayed up to watch a programme about monkeys.
It's already good.
Of course he did.
It's already good.
Now, before I read on, I mean, is this not some kind of monkey news? Is this not a late return to monkey news?
Well, it's not that good.
Is it not? Whereas the other monkey news is...
Oh, chimpanzee, that's some more shit.
This is what he says. This is what he gleaned from the programme about monkeys. It sat on a bridge and wanted stuff off people to walk over the bridge.
What?
So it was acting as some kind of toll booth,
This
was
is
it?
ridiculous.
No, it was a bridge in like the jungle.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
And it's a monkey that's sat on a bridge, and a lot of tourists go through the area.
No, it's a monkey
to look at them.
who realised that if he sits there, he'll get stuff because it look like it's a cute little chimp begging.
No, but every time.
Yeah, because you give a monkey, I'm as bad as him now. If you give a chimpanzee a banana, and he starts realising that humans have things to give.
Yeah, but it's all
Squirrels
sorts of
learn
stuff.
that. But you don't go, you wouldn't say, went to the park, there's squirrels waiting at the gate. You have to give them a toll to go in. They don't do anything to give them nuts. They come up to you every time. You fucking idiot.
Went to bed after watching it and fell asleep thinking about it on the bridge right now. It's a bit bad, really, because the monkey should work harder for its food. It made me remember the slug I saw yesterday that was eating bird poo. Nobody would ever help a slug with food like they do with ducks and monkeys. A slug's life is pretty bad. The only time they come out of their den is when it's raining.
Den.
So even their days out are depressing.
It is. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It is like, it's a horrible thing to be, innit? A slug.
Let him talking about what is it like to be a slug.
No, just because, like, the monkey, even though it's been quite aggressive, everyone was like, oh, give it some water, and it was well, like, kitted out. It had, like, you know, chocolate bars, bottled water, some, like, you know, fizzy stuff, and all that.
An iPod, it was listening to Monkey News.
It could have had one if it wanted one. It was getting away with murder on that bridge. And that's just because it was furry. Yeah, if that was like a blob, like a slug, there's no way people would be that friendly towards it. And it just annoys me how you get this pecking order for, like, no matter what creature you are, favouritism. And that slug was only eating that bird poo because it wasn't being offered stuff.
If it was offered toffees or whatever.
Well, it's just sad, isn't it? It's come to that. That's where its life has come to.
Yeah, but it's not a
was
mollusk
raining, like
that's
you say.
down on its fucking luck.
It didn't live in a mid-country house
No,
and his
but it
wife
is.
left it, the
I
kids
was
went, it started hitting the
watching
bottle.
it, and I kind of thought, and look, they do only come out in the rain, and it's depressing, and it'll probably get killed in a bit, and that was its last meal. I just...
Last meal!
But it
people
wouldn't
don't care.
prefer steak and chips, Carl. It
No,
doesn't
a leaf.
have...
It must like a leaf or you know, at the end of the day, it's an insect. They love
It's
leaves.
not an insect.
Well, it's part of that gang. It's part of that. No, it's part of
They
that.
hang out together, they hang out together.
Why do you think it's part of that
Because
gang?
it knocks about in the woods in the same place as a spider does. But what I'm saying is they're eating boring stuff because that is what's
It's
in
not
their
boring
area.
stuff to them. They're not. I have no opinion of it at all. They take in sustenance.
No, but where you are is what you eat. When I'm in London, I'll have beans on toast for lunch. On holiday, what? Tapas? Go on, I'll have a bit. So it's whatever you eat, what's in that area.
Suzanne went off to work and I went to the shop to buy some envelopes. The shop was empty, but the fella behind the counter was on the phone and just kept talking even though he could see I was waiting. I started to count backwards from 20. When I got to 6, he hung up and served me. I won't use the shop again. Question, why count backwards from 20?
So he's thinking, what's going to happen at 1? If I start counting from 1, he's going, well, let him carry on.
What, out loud?
So, not really loud, but like more of a mouth action, so he could see who was doing it. Do you know, like
Sorry, you just started miming counting backwards to a man in a shop.
he's on the phone. The
Yes.
shop is empty. I
Yes.
thought he'd like me custom. He could have served me and stay on the phone. Even though I don't like that, at least he's still doing what you know he needs to do.
I'd have said,
working the
sorry,
shop.
can I just get these, please?
Yeah. Well, I stood there and I thought, it's annoying me now, my kidneys aching, and I started to get a bit of a sweat on. So I thought, right, I'm going to give him 20 seconds, and if he hasn't got off the phone, I'm leaving. Again,
You are
giving
one
yourself,
of the strangest people.
it's just giving yourself a thing. I could have been stood there for
Free.
ages.
He's one of the strangest people who's free to walk.
Yeah.
It's
the
about
streets.
no. I set myself a little target, and I thought I don't want to waste another 30 seconds in here. I'll give him 20. It worked. He served me at 6.
But it didn't work. Yeah, but did he do it because you were doing that, or did he finish his phone call?
I don't know. I was busy counting.
One prediction for the future, Karl, is from an academic study, what the world will be like in about 75 years from now. And a big prediction they're sort of sure of is that androgyny will rule. But soon you won't even need a female or a man in your life, you'll just need the egg or sperm. And you'll be able to have any coupling you want or not. Thoughts, Karl?
That isn't what I've heard.
What were you heard?
I heard that.
So you read an academic study, Rick, but
Yeah.
let's find out what Carl's been reading.
I heard we're, you know, we're all gonna go ugly.
Different point, though, isn't it?
That's a completely different point. That. Not listening to a word Ricky said. But
No, it's just if we all sort of go ugly, that will sort the population.
He gets an
problem out.
extra syllable in the word ugly. Ugly. Ugly.
Yeah.
Ugly.
So that just sorts the population out because people aren't sort of having it away left, right, and centre.
Well, no, well then that doesn't sort of. What do you mean?
Sorry, Rick, I don't understand what the hell he said there.
Are you saying because everyone's ugly, everyone won't want to have it away more with the ugly person?
Yeah.
Okay, I still don't. You seem to understand what he's talking about, Rick. I'm still
But
confused.
what he thinks is that if we're all ugly, then we still have this strange paradigm of beauty that won't exist, so we won't fancy anyone as much.
No, they'll still sort of fancy, because at the end of the day we're animals, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we'll still have it away, but
Yeah.
not as much as they'd like to do now because it's all based on looks.
Sorry, but what's this got to do
What's
with what
this
Ricky
world
said?
like? Describe
Ricky's-
a typical town or country
It's
set to me.
exactly right. Imagine London. You've still got the gherkin. You've still got the big wheel.
Right.
It's just everyone's ugly.
Right, and they're doing all the same jobs, are they?
Everyone's still the world's got to carry on.
What do they look like? What's ugly?
Just imagine, like, have you ever seen anyone when you've just gone, look at that?
Yeah.
Right, well, like that.
Yeah, but hold on, because it's not
No,
like
because
a
we have
strict.
got better looking, haven't we? If I look back now
Yeah.
at a school photo,
Yeah.
you look at my class and you go, what was going on then? You can't tell the difference between some of the girls and the blokes.
When he said we've got better looking, I thought he was going to talk about cavemen, not his school photo. I mean, what happened there? There's been no evolution in that time. What are you talking about, Karl?
We've got better looking now, haven't we?
But we will change.
Yeah, we'll
Probably
change
not in
these little
75
things.
years.
I mentioned before about your little finger. There'll come a time when that'll go. I've watched it. I've kept an eye on what my little finger's doing. Sometimes it does nothing. It never helps out. All the others are grabbing all the stuff. That one just sort of sits there watching. So you could get rid of that, and I think that will go in evolution.
Think of the books he could have read when he was doing that, when he was monitoring his little finger.
I've been watching my little finger.
I think what's more interesting about the future, Karl, is the fact that technology integrated with humans will be fascinating. So, for instance, they're talking, about the fact that in the future we may even be able to have chips in our head that allow us to access the internet, or an equivalent of it, directly, mentally. So imagine that.
To say, not French fries.
Hang on, though. At what point are we us, then?
Yeah, this is good.
Go on.
Go on.
No, because if I can go on the internet at any time, then that's going to know more than me.
What does that mean?
Okay.
When I don't know an answer to something now, which is a lot of stuff,
Really?
Go on.
you
Yeah.
watch University Challenge,
Yeah.
and the stuff them kids on that know. I just think, where have they stored that? For me, if something doesn't get used within a time period, that's it.
But again,
It's forgotten about.
Basically, you've got about the same hardware
I
as
haven't.
those people.
Honest to God, I haven't. I know I haven't. So what I'm saying is, if I want to know the answer to something, I go on the internet.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, if I've got a chip in my head with Google on it,
Yeah.
I'm never going to use my head. I'll just be forever on Google.
I'm never going to use my head.
Well, I'm not,
But
because
what do you
what's
think
the
your
point?
head is, though?
Because I'm going to get it wrong. The chances are I'll get it wrong, so divert that. It's like saying...
No, you can't bypass the brain straight to Google. When you're having a chat socially, it's not like they're going, all right, Karl, how are you? And you're not there. You're asleep and Google's talking. I think you'll find it.
No, only...
You want to see naked ladies? Come this way.
No. I don't watch University Challenge and go, I want to be like them, I'm going to start reading books. I've accepted I'm never going to be like them. I can't play along. All I tend to do is I say to Suzanne, right, so every question now, I'm going to have egg as the answer. And I'm hoping that one day...
What an amazing game! What an amazing intellectual pursuit
God,
that is!
what a lucky lady.
What does Suzanne say to that?
Well, she just sees if it works. She just plays along, and then I'm saying, oh, it might be this one or whatever.
I love that, because I remember once, it was about 5 years ago, Karl and Suzanne were round near Christmas, and me and Jane were there. We were playing different parlour games, like charades and that, and then one game, you have to do that thing where you have to beat, and you have to do animals, and you have to go, first one is A, then B. So you say aardvark, next one goes beaver, next one goes cat. It came to Karl, he panicked, and he went egg.
And he was on egg. So you're sat there watching University Challenge, and on a good night, it's, you know, well-known jeweller Fabergé is well known for his jewel-encrusted egg. Humpty Dumpty is commonly pictured as a living egg. Sometimes it's getting extraordinary.
If you keep saying the same thing, eventually, it's like a broken watch.
Carl
It's
Pilkington's
always
head
right,
looks
innit?
like hay.
Yeah. I think Steve's right, and I don't know, I haven't read it, but I imagine he's saying it's the next step in convenience with technology and an interface between a human and a research tool or fun. You know, computers went from being the size of a room to a thing you can wear on your watch. So the next step may be, you won't forget your palm top, you won't forget your iPod, you won't forget your laptop. It's in there, it's an interface.
I know, but it makes us lazy.
Carl, it's not a question of. It's not that Google is now Carl. It looks like Carl, but it's just spouting, you know, little pop-ups about offers you can buy and cheap holidays here and there.
He's not the man I'm married.
Right, look at it like this.
Jesus.
Look, I see it all the time now.
Go on.
You go, where are you going, to someone? And they go, I'm going to Dorset.
Aye.
Oh, aye, what road are you taking? Dunno, just pop on the sat-nav. Now, that's a start, isn't it?
Okay. Let's act that out with me, okay? I'm going away for the weekend, Carl.
Are you?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Dorset.
Oh, yeah. Are you getting there?
Car.
Oh, right, yeah, well, which way are you going?
Dunno, what do you want to know?
Oh, just making a friendly chat. Just, you know, I'm interested in geography. Which way are you going?
Well, I don't know really. I've got a sat nav in my car, and I'm getting there. And what do you want? What?
Easy, isn't it?
Well, I'm not a pigeon. I don't.
I mean, you got an A to Z.
Well, yeah, but it's on a computer the A to Z. What's the difference between looking at an A to Z and
Lazy, though.
Not really. No. Why? Why is it any different that I've got it computerized so I can go along? A to Z's a bit dangerous, isn't it? It's a bit. Don't go to A to Z when you're driving along.
Clive, who are you talking to? Because we need to hit the road. We need to get going.
Well, it's this fucking idiot who wants to know what road I'm taking, which is a fucking boring thing to ask. Anyway.
Sorry, who is this twat? Because we really got to
he's
get
a
going.
fucking dickhead. I think he's an A to Z salesman by the door. I mean,
We'll just tell him we're using the sat nav because it's the quickest, most efficient way to do it.
It's the quickest, most efficient way of doing it.
No, but look, what's happened.
Who the fuck are you?
Would Columbus found America if he had a sat nav?
Yes!
No, he wouldn't.
He'd have put in America and he would have taken it
He wouldn't. He only found it because he got lost. Now, if everybody just goes...
Hold on. How would an undiscovered country be on a sat-nav?
No.
Go on.
But I just
What's
mean...
the difference between the sat-nav and the map in that regard?
Because I've found some lovely little cafes on roads I've never been on.
It's instantly gone from finding a continent to a little cafe.
I love that.
Little greasy spoon.
I am off to discover the unknown world. Where are you going? Well, I don't know yet. It's the unknown world. What are you taking? Just a boat. Oh, lazy swim, you cunt. I love the fact that he's so Luddite now, he's annoyed at the sat-nav. I mean, you'd have probably given Columbus a hard time. Oh, got a compass. Don't you know where north is, you twat?
I just think there's something in being lost. I never feel lost. I just think, oh, I've had a diversion. Because you find new things. I'm forever going down...
Suzanne's asking the French peasant where the...
Just think, you know, Columbus...
Alright, what's the most interesting thing you found when lost?
Like I say, they normally... I found a shop that was like a fancy dress shop.
Amazing.
Do you need fancy dress stuff?
Dressed
You
up
never
as
go
Columbus,
out.
went and bought a sat-nav, went to Dorset for the weekend.
You never go out. Why do you need a fancy dress shop? That sounds like the one thing you would hate is fancy dress.
You know, but I like looking at the... they have like a space helmet in there.
Right, so you found a fancy dress shop. Where are you supposed to be going that you had time to get sidetracked and go in a...
I think I was going to a meeting.
Amazing, that's the last time!
So you want to get lost?
Yeah, you don't want to get lost, do
Because
you?
I always give myself loads of time because I get lost a lot. I always give myself...
Get a sat-nav!
No, I'm just saying, that's how you find little treats along the way, and next time you pass it, or next time someone says, do you know where the fancy dress shop is? You go, yeah, I do.
You go, I have no idea because I was lost. I didn't know where it was.
No, normally I learn.
I'm not going to tell you, lazy cunt. Have you got an A to Z? Oh, that's harsh.
Yeah, find it yourself, you lazy twat.
So...
What have you learned? You keep going on about all this learning. What have you learned?
What have you learned? Okay, sum up mankind's foray into the future. I want this. This will be the introduction to a book about the future. It will then be read in 100 years' time and go, Karl Pilkington was the most prophetic genius that's ever walked the earth. These are his words from 2010.
Just some predictions.
Just sum it up. Just sum it up. I believe. Start off with. I, Karl Pilkington, believe that mankind in the future will. Okay, start off
And
with that
then what?
sentence.
Just have like a top 5.
Well, no, or just.
Well, maybe just predictions.
Just predict.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So
and
just-
then a little thing to remember. And remember ye this. So I, Karl Pilkington, predict that in the future mankind will. Start off with that. Start off with that sentence. I've given you that one.
Alright, I'm Karl. And, the future.
He's already gone off road.
It's a scary place. But the future's gonna happen. Right? There's no getting away from that.
Yep. Okay, your predictions are.
Well, we're all.
It's not a soundbite.
Keep going.
Hang on a minute.
Give him space. Give him space.
This is in a book. I've got to think about. I don't
Okay.
want to get it wrong.
Think first. Think, and then say it. Okay, starting from now. These words of wisdom will be inscribed on a wall of a museum one day. Proceed.
I think trousers are going to be stopped being made. Just because you see kids now, they've got pants around their ankles. They're going further and further down. So I think that's evolution, just getting rid of the trouser.
Right.
It's just dropping naturally.
That's the evolution of the trouser because it's dropping incrementally
Well, you see now, you
down
can
the
see
arse.
kids' underpants, so they're just dropping.
Yeah.
I think they'll get to a point when they just don't bother wearing them anymore.
Right.
Prediction 1.
Okay,
That's an amazing one.
They'll stop making trousers in the future.
Good.
Okay.
We're going to get weaker. That's already happened. They used to say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Now they're saying eat 5 fruits.
Right.
So we've definitely that's evidence. You can't argue with that. I'll probably put that first because the guy's right. What's number 2? So swap that round.
Okay, that's number
Give
1.
him the pants second.
Yep.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Okay,
They
number
used
3.
to say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. They used to say pull your trousers up. Now they say put them down. You can. I've never had such fucking trouble.
Number 3.
Right, number 3. Oh, the scholars are now waiting with bated breath when they find this old scroll, and they go, "Ooh, what can number 3 be?"
I reckon we'll blend all our food.
Oh God!
No, because
He was going to make a point about race. I never thought it would be. We'll blend all our food.
like they do for babies, you mean?
I just think when you think about all the stuff we eat now, cavemen chewing on big lumps of meat.
Yeah.
We had wisdom teeth.
Yep.
Now they say, take them out, you're not using them.
Yeah.
Why not using them? Because your food's soft.
Yep.
Sorbet.
Yep.
Soups.
Yeah.
Everything's softer,
Just
isn't it?
those
When you get an
two, yeah.
avocado, they say, is it soft? Everyone's squeezing the food before they buy it.
Yeah.
No one wants anything tough.
Yeah.
So I think chewing is a sort of
It's a
thing of the past. We haven't got the time to chew. Everyone's like, hurry up, eat that. You don't have to go out for dinner with Ricky. He's like, hurry up. Like, I'm still eating
Well,
it.
he does blend his food, I think. Okay, so blending food.
Great.
I reckon. What else do we do now? So I've done teeth. Done trousers. I've come up with this idea. It's sort of like glasses, but you can live wherever you want to live.
What do you mean?
Everything that's real, you're not looking at that anymore. This is really the future. I'd put this at number 10. This is like...
We're only doing 5. Fuck me.
So what you mean is that you look through the glasses and instead of seeing what the real world, you see a tropical
what
paradise.
you want to see. So if you're a young kid and you like the idea of living in the urban ghetto with all graffiti on the walls and that, you can see that.
Yeah, but hold on. Are you walking round? Because you'll be bumping into stuff, won't you?
No.
Why not?
No, what you mean is that the stuff that's there in the real world is being digitally reimagined in your glasses. So what was a nice country lane is suddenly now an
It's
urban
got loads
ghetto.
of graffiti on it.
Sure.
Absolutely mental, pointless, would never work. Absolutely
But
one of the
older-
maddest things you've ever said.
Really weird, that one.
Yeah,
It could be done. I reckon it could be easily
Why
done.
would it be? Okay,
Because-
last one, that's number 4. That's a load of bollocks. So what's number 5?
There'll be more letters in the alphabet.
Why?
Why?
Because we're running out of words now, aren't we?
No, we're not running out of
No,
words.
we are. We are definitely running out
Just
of words.
using, it's using the letters we've already got and
Yeah.
making new words.
Yeah, we're making,
No, but we haven't got enough now.
of course we have. Have you any idea? You could have a word with 9 L's
Yes.
before you run out.
Yeah, and they do in Wales and what have you. That's because their alphabet is shorter than ours. They've only got something like 24 letters over there.
Right.
They go mental with the L. now, what we do is we've got 26 letters, but we are now struggling.
We're not struggling at all.
We are.
We're not. Let me say stupid.
Boswallocks in shampoo. Now there's a word where they've gone, well, we've invented something here. We've got something we're putting in shampoo.
Boswallocks?
Boswallocks.
Have you just made that up?
No, it's now they go. I knew with Boswellops and ceramide R. Yeah, but that's a new word because they have to. They come up with a new word.
But it's a terrible word.
Why?
Boswallocks.
It's another word.
Is that real? You've made that up,
No,
have you?
I haven't. It's a real word.
Boswellops, yeah.
Now this is what I'm saying. So years ago, when they came up with all the sensible ingredients,
Go on.
sodium. That sounds. That sounds all right.
He likes sodium. He doesn't
happy
like
with that.
Boswellops.
Because it sounds like something in it, like an ingredient.
Well, yeah, but that's because you're used to it.
Is this a load of Boswellocks? Are you winding me up,
No,
the two
it's
of you?
real.
It's real, and that's because 26 letters. We've wasted them. Years ago, we went mental with the, pneumonia, sticking a P on it, and there's loads of words where you go, what's that letter doing in there? Whereas now, they can't do that. They've gone, whoa, pull that back. Why is that letter there? And now you've got stuff like abbreviations and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's not waste letters. Let's just control it a little bit. Cars are called things like, GTI or something, because they're going, well, I can't think of the word to call this. So they're giving them letters. Think of a word now. Think of a word that hasn't been made up.
What do you mean?
Well, tell me a word that hasn't been made up.
All words have been made up.
No, one that hasn't. That could be used. Say if I invent something now to put in shampoo, what can I call it? Quick.
Cranberry.
No, it's too close to that. No, we can't get that past the advertising person.
Scrimpton.
Scrimpton.
Yeah.
It took Ricky 2 goes and you accepted his second one.
Well, I think we've sorted out the future.
I don't care because it's the last day on Earth.
What would you do?
I've always wanted to kick a duck up the arse. The spiders, the deadly ones you're aware of, the ones that are just pottering about, you go, don't even worry about them, don't even give them a name. They're not doing anything.
But what if there's another poisonous spider they haven't identified yet, lurking in the undergrowth?
I'd be very surprised.
So you'd be very surprised.
I'd be surprised if there was
It
something...
sounds like laziness on your part.
But they're
No,
discovering
it's
new
not.
species all the time.
We know about all the dangerous stuff now, because we have to. We live in
No,
a
we
world
don't.
now. We do. We know about a lot of the dangerous stuff. Whenever they find something new now, it's like a new butterfly or...
Well, no, look at AIDS. When I was a kid, no one had ever heard of AIDS.
Yeah, but that's not a natural thing, is it? That's not like a spider or
What do you mean it's not a natural
ladybird.
thing?
It's not a natural thing. It's not something that's... AIDS hasn't been, like, living under the soil for millions of years, going, I'll wait till the 1980s and I'll come out and kill a load of people.
No, but it is a natural
It's a new thing.
Yeah,
It's new.
Yeah, but loads of animals are new, aren't they? Evolutionary terms. There's new animals in evolution.
I'm sure there's new stuff deep down that's just like, almost like bacteria, sat under the soil, it'll never come to the top, right? It's like having an old woman who's a neighbour. She never goes out, she doesn't bother you. Let her be.
But what if that old neighbour could unlock the secrets to...
I don't think she can.
Just even to us understanding the complexities of the universe, of the way things have developed and grown.
Because we know about it.
Well, why would we know about it? Because I never understand, why is it you want to stop researching and studying now? Why is it that you're happy to just draw a line under everything else? What if people had said this back in the 19th century?
We've done this. I think it's someone in the 1900s. We said everything that's going to be invented has been invented, and then look what happened in that century.
Yeah, and I've said to you, look at the stuff that is being invented now. The frisbee and stuff like that. It's all stuff that,
Right.
that you kind of go, it's all right, it's a good idea, but we don't need
Yeah,
it.
but the frisbee wasn't being worked on by the top brains of our generation. That was some novelty toy that some manufacturer made.
Yeah, but it's like, look at the fuss we made over that fella who came up with a Dyson vac. Everyone was like, he's up there with Einstein. Well, he's not. It's a good vac. It cleans up floors well and everything.
Who
but
said he's up there with Einstein?
These
one of-
PR people
in one
did.
of those programmes where they did like great inventions of our time, it was easy early on. You go Einstein, you know, Newton did this, Archimedes, Dyson, and they started to run out because it is harder to come up with something new now. Because everything that's needed, remember, the things we've invented are things that we sort of go, we could do with that. Inventors don't sit there going, what can I make? Oh, I need a toaster. They've sat there, they've burnt the toast under the grill, and they've gone, I need some sort of device here.
Well,
that I can
somebody-
put
yeah,
bread
yeah,
in."
yeah.
And what can it do? I'll shake it like
Necessity
that,
is the
and
mother of invention.
Yeah.
However, there are people who sit around going, "Where's a loophole in the market? Where's a
Well,
niche?"
here's something. About a year ago, I came up with a see-through toaster, so that you can see how much the toast is cooked.
Right?
I found it about 2 months after that. Someone had done it. So I'd just been beaten to the post.
Think of computers.
Yeah, computers are a good thing, and it baffles me as to how they came about. When you think a computer chip is just made out of sand. Now, for someone to come up with that, you go, there must have been some sort of alien involved here.
What do you mean? Why do you think that? So I love it. So the frisbee, rubbish. Anything too clever? Well, it wasn't an invention. It was an alien. So there's nothing between frisbee and computer chip.
What I'm saying is, it's not even an idea, is it?
What do you mean?
A computer chip. Where's that come from?
Oh, it's amazing.
Well,
It's astounding, yeah.
So you think it was an alien? What are you talking about?
Great.
Because I can't believe that someone would go, right, I want to make something that will hold information and be able to do... I know, let's use some sand, we've got loads of that. You go, what, you don't...
Well, that's what genius is, though,
But
isn't
Karl,
it?
there's no alien involved.
No, but when I say alien, I don't mean an alien came down here and said, you know, oh, do you want to buy this? There could have been a spaceship crash, right?
Right, yeah.
And there's all them rumours, isn't there, in that hangar. They've got the spaceship, they take it apart, they go, yeah, wheels, we've got them, yeah, steering wheel. And then they go, hang on, what's this here? And they find the chips, and they break it down, and they find
Karl,
these sand.
but the fact that sand makes computer chips is not the interesting thing. The interesting thing is how the human being discovered that, what am I talking about, sand makes computer chips, that silicon can have information put on it. But we're made out of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, do you know what I mean? And hydrogen.
Yeah,
they're
but that's
fascinating.
nature. You see,
Yeah.
nature is amazing. You can't beat nature, right?
No.
It comes up with some amazing things.
Yeah, but man is nature. Don't forget that we're an animal. We're a brilliant ape. We're actually 98.6% genetically identical to a chimpanzee, Karl. Think of that. We only differ on 1.4% of
But
our genetic makeup.
that must be the arse. Because that's a lot different. I told you, didn't I, about my dad's mate who had a monkey and he had to thump it.
What? Well, there's two things there. One, why did he have a monkey? Two, what sort of discipline is thumping a monkey? What was the monkey doing?
He was annoying his wife a lot and sort of, you know, pinching her arse and stuff like that.
Right,
No,
right.
that's
Wait
not
a minute.
true.
We've
It's not
never
true.
heard this before. How have we had all these years
No,
of
I'm sure
monkey
I
use and we've
told you
never
about
heard this
it ages
before?
ago.
Your dad had a mate who had a monkey?
Yeah, I'm sure I told you.
Why did he have a monkey? Just for a laugh?
Well, it was back in the day when people did. They all had like odd sort of pets, and
When?
that, didn't they? In like about 68.
Oh,
In
1968,
1968.
when everyone had a monkey.
We had to thump it. Now the weird thing is,
No, that's weird enough.
Is this all the story? This is the entire story?
No.
You've got all the information you've got is he had a monkey and he had to thump it.
yeah, my dad told me about it when he found out that I was into monkeys. He said, "Oh, Benny thumped one," and
Benny thumped one. Oh, my son's into natural history, particularly simian variety. I've got an interesting fact for you, Carl. Sit down. What is it, Peter? Benny thumped one. Brilliant.
But what was interesting is the way that people are thumping other people all the time. No one bats an eyelid. Thump a monkey. People go, you thumped a monkey.
Yes, they do. They do go. You thumped a monkey.
So that's what's weird, isn't it?
But this chimp doesn't want to be caged and kept in a fucking council house in
No,
Manchester.
it was quite happy. And if
It
it wants to
wasn't
live like a
happy.
human, I mean, in the 70s, you know, there were all the teabag adverts and all that, and they were loving that.
No, they
and
weren't
people
loving it.
interfere. People go, oh, that's unfair. Now
They-
they're in like a cage in a zoo. You go, it was better when I was pushing a piano up a stairs.
They weren't really.
They weren't actual delivery men.
They weren't really sitting down and having a cup of tea.
It wasn't a documentary. A week in the life of the monkey delivery men.
I love that. Chimps in a zoo now going. Okay, now at least we were free.
Remember when we used to drive a van?
And we're on 58 quid a week.
Yeah.
They're not meant to be kept in a house in Manchester. Cruel to keep a person in a house in Manchester, so it's fucking cruel to keep a monkey. What do you think of that, Carl? If you wanted to make the ultimate fighting animal, what would you come up with? If you had the power, like that fella in Arabian Nights, size of a chimpanzee, you could change into anything, but you could change into, you know, like that.
I don't think I'd go for strength and that. I'd go for survival.
What would you do? Cockroach.
No, I'd have like an armadillo's body.
Right. Okay.
I'd have head of an owl.
Right.
The head of an owl?
Yeah, why come on, why? What does that bring to the table?
The head's there to sort of make it look friendly to the
make it look
human
friendly.
race. So,
Okay.
because if you look half decent to the human race, they'll look after you.
Right.
That's the way it works,
Yeah,
isn't it? With
okay.
a cat and a dog and all that. So the owl makes it look nice.
Right.
I'd have, I wouldn't have legs, I'd go for like the slug juice.
What do you mean? So now you're a really slow-moving, legless armadillo with the head of an owl.
Slithering along. How
Yeah.
is that going to be friendly? They'll see the beautiful face, but then they'll be terrified by the slug.
No, because the head's that nice that they'll forgo the sludge.
But hold on though. But wait a minute. So it's got this thing that's stuck, right, going at 0.1 miles an hour, with a going hoo, right? You come over, you kick the head off. How is this
No,
a
because the head
survival?
can go into the thing like a tortoise.
Can it?
Yeah, of course it can. Into the armadillo body.
Well, no, an armadillo doesn't do that. It just curls up into a
No,
ball.
this isn't an armadillo, is it?
So it's go
Why
on
has
then.
it got the slug? Why is that
Because
so
what
attractive?
I'm thinking is an armadillo. They're good when they're on their feet. Flip them, they get stuck like a tortoise.
Right.
Slug stuff keeps it down. So if anything attacks it, it's like a limpet or one of them things that can.
Why
lock
have a
to
limpet
stuff.
then?
But it can't get any. How it can barely move. It can
Just
hardly
go and
get
just
anywhere.
go and kick it.
What do you
Just
mean it
this.
can't get
Well, how
anywhere?
can it escape from danger? It's going to move
Rubbish.
very slowly.
No, 'cause
What, that's the
it'll
worst
lock itself in. It'll lock itself in.
Yeah, and then I just scoop it up on the
You
sand.
can't scoop it up. It locks itself in if it's in danger. I give it peacock feathers.
This is the worst animal
Why has it got peacock feathers?
Again, it's just
It's the worst animal I've ever heard.
Why has it got peacock feathers?
threatening. It looks more threatening.
It
That's
does.
what
What?
peacock
That's the
feathers do.
least threatening thing. Peacock feathers. It's like Danny LaRue coming at you. There's
Yeah.
nothing remotely scary about peacock
Yeah,
feathers.
to humans.
Yeah.
But the humans won't be harming it because they like the owl head. People will like to have these things in the garden. They eat lettuce.
They eat lettuce. They eat Why has it got a beak? They eat lettuce. He's telling them what it's going to eat now. The owl's going, fuck that, I want a mouse. I love the fact that he's based what it eats on the fact that how it moves a bit like a slug.
Yes,
Let it eat
yeah.
lettuce. It moves that and let it eat lettuce.
Like I said, it's not that weird if that existed. If that was normal, like when you went out to empty your bin, there was one of them sliding up the wall. You wouldn't even double take. You'd just be like, oh, there's the owl head peacock feathered thing.
I don't know why it's climbing walls in an effort to find lettuce.
Yeah, why is it climbing up that wall?
Because that's the only way it can see properly. Because its head's coming out like that.
So even though you've designed this animal, now you're even expanding
got
its limitations.
problems.
Well,
No,
it's
it's got
mainly
problem.
made as to be on walls. Because what else is living on walls?
Oh, God. Oh, fucking hell. What a useless animal that is. Carl, I mean.
Well, nature chucks up odd things, doesn't it?
Don't. Why are we starting on this again?
No, I'm just saying that is nature. Now and again, you'll get stuff that.
Oh, was he looking at you?
Yeah.
Was he really?
Look at his fucking head. Look at his stupid, round, fucking orangey head and... Oh.
Why aren't you a freak? You've got a little bald head. We're not meant to be bald.
Well, I was, I think. That's the thing, that's what nature's done. You see, I didn't do anything with my hair when I had hair. I didn't style it, I didn't do anything with it, and it probably thought, what am I doing here? Whereas people who love their hair, and they comb it and have different styles and look after it, they have hair for ages.
Nonsense.
No, nonsense,
Gobbledygook.
absolute nonsense.
Well, you're saying that.
Absolute nonsense.
Well, it's a little bit weird then, isn't it? And that's what happens with old people once they lose their, will to live. Once they lose the job, they get old. What's my purpose? What am I doing here? And it's like nature goes, you're not needed. And they die. Maybe that's what happened with the dodo. What's it doing? Can't fly. Its wings are useless. Eat it. Tastes horrible. Kill it.
No, they did eat
Nature.
it. I think they did eat it.
Yeah, but it wasn't very nice, was it?
I think they over-farmed it. I think that's why it was extinct. Because they did eat it.
No, but they did eat it, but they didn't like it. Everybody, you never saw like a fully eaten carcass of a dodo.
You're
It
making
would be
this up
half
again.
eaten.
All conjecture.
No, but they didn't eat it all. Everybody would probably try it and go, it's not for me, that.
But you don't know
No
this.
idea,
You
you're
don't
just
know
making
this.
it up.
What's this based on?
I've
That
just-
people... And also, why would that kid it out?
Because I'll tell you why. Because if it's not nice, people don't get another one in. And they die out. The reason we've got loads of chickens and loads of cows is because we eat them. If we ate polar bears, we wouldn't be short of them. Because you'd farm it, you'd take more care, but what's a polar bear doing? Sat on a block of ice floating about. It's no use to us, is it? It sounds harsh.
Once
it's
again,
no
got
use.
his information from a Glacier Mint
No,
advert.
but it's no use to us. We know they're there, and it's all very sad when you see them on the news sort of struggling and all that.
Yeah.
But it's going to make them stronger.
What would you do if you're a doctor? And I came to you and went, Karl, listen, I'm having a bit of a rethink of these. The penis, I hate it. I hate this cock.
But what do you mean you hate it?
I hate it. I don't want it there. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. It just sits there resting on these fucking awful testicles that I'm gonna get rid of. I want this thrown away.
Yeah, well, it's, they're not a great look. I know that, everyone knows that, it's just the way they are. I mean, if we're all being honest, they're an odd design. I don't think anyone likes their own, do they? That's why we cover them. They're not a great thing, are they?
What? It's not why we cover them, though, is
It's
it?
part of it, I think. I think deep down, I mean, even if, like, I know you ate the Adam and Eve thing, but even if back then he was like, good God, cover them up. Even he had a leaf on.
No, but listen. Right. So, are you thinking fundamentally, then, that aesthetically, the testicles and the penis isn't as good as it could be? What would you have there instead?
Well, it's designed that way because that's the way it's got to be designed. It's more about function than
Yeah.
and that's the thing, isn't it? With modern technology,
You need, the thing is the testicles have to be outside because they have to be a few degrees below body temperature.
yeah.
Otherwise, the Sertoli cells die, which sort of feed to semen and all that. So, to be functioning and sort of like fertile, they have to be outside, which is annoying because I'd put a little rib cage around them, like that. I'd pop a rib cage round those, protect them, wear a cricket box, have that built in, so you cannot get a swift kick in the bollocks that
but
makes
it'd
you
be
feel sick.
But it'd be better if they could sort of reverse up in a way that they were hidden away,
Right.
so
Yeah.
that they were just. Then you dropped them. It's like, right, we need to cool them down. Be at it in about half an hour.
Yeah.
Zzz, drop them down.
Yeah, like the gear on an aeroplane, landing gear. Yeah, and landing gear down, and the bollocks and the cooling down. Or you could just pop them in the fridge for 10 minutes.
It's
Well,
like
they
the-
could detach and you could pop them in the fridge. Cool
Yeah.
them down.
Can you make me some breasts?
easy.
Okay. Go on, you say easy. What are you gonna do? What's your plan?
Just how do you do that? It's tablets, isn't it?
No, but
Testosterone, isn't it?
Testosterone.
Toblerone. I want some Toblerone.
Well, sort of pointy tits, like Madonna.
Where do you stop though? Suppose